Hello
Hey.
and welcome. I'm your DM, Johnny, and tonight I'm joined by Brad,
Hiya.
Christine,
Hello.
Becki,
Hello.
Ryan,
Oh.
Dan,
Hi.
and Sean.
Hello!
Yay!
Kale.
Oh
It
god.
happened.
Is this the guest appearance? Is it?
This is the guest appearance of
first
Kale,
guest.
2021, yeah.
The new
So,
character.
just before we jump into saying hello and happy new year, how is everyone? Just want to say we have had a few technical bugs kind of behind the machines today. I think the internet's in pretty much
Not my fault this time. It's not my fault.
And it's not mine.
Yay.
And it's not mine.
No, it's not. So, just saying, if anything drops out or goes weird, bear with us. We'll make sure it comes up and running. But we are here. 2021. Happy New Year, everyone. How is everybody doing?
Good.
Good.
Real
I'm
Good.
quite happy. I'm quite proud to have been the recipient of these for Christmas from Becki and Christine. So I don't know if you can see it on the stream. I don't know where it is. But a wonderful, we didn't have our Christmas tree up this year, but I do have a place where I put my cards and my other hangings. So I'm going to pop this up from Christine, from Becki. And Christine gave us each a dice, which is amazing.
I expect this to be loaded. For to only ever
To the
roll
negative. Oh, okay.
No, for those who can't see on the podcast, they're little. We each got. I got a set of 7 because there are 7 of us. It seemed sensible to split them up, and they've got their clear resin with tiny little leaves in because our first episode was the Festival of Falling Leaves, and I remember these things because I was terrified, and it turned out all right.
So, as far as we know.
Okay.
And Becky's given us all a
so far.
character-specific hanging piece with a frame and everything, and it's just gorgeous. So.
Oh, you got character-specific ones. That's so cool.
Yeah.
I got everyone. No, I'm really grateful.
Did you?
Oh, right.
That's
Okay.
fantastic.
Yeah, I got the
That
whole
sounded
party.
so sarcastic.
Did you
Johnny.
also get the D20? We all had an internal debate over who got the
No,
D20.
who got the D20?
It was
keep it for
random.
yourself?
It was Dan. No, of course it was Dan.
Oh, I see.
Well, all it means is while we do the stream for the next 6 years, and then each Christmas we'll get a different one of the dice of our whole
Right.
set. So after 6 years we'll all have a set, and then we can all retire.
We're
And
gonna,
then
just-
all, we're gonna
assumption.
all end up like Johnny at this rate and just literally have a trunk of dice.
Yeah, there's not a way forward. I'll just
that's
put
a
it
good
down to the
goal for
fact that I
2021
knew
though.
Christine before the
I
stream.
just want to say as well, Brad, the term dice goblin is a very ugly one to throw around.
Oh, sorry.
However,
You're a dice. You're a
it might-
dice troll then.
See this. I've had this conversation before because, as I've mentioned before, I'm a noob, which I normally throw out when I'm about to do something complicated and I've got no fucking idea what I'm doing. But this dice acquirement syndrome is a thing, isn't
Oh
it?
God, yeah.
Yep.
It's like
It's
it's
a
one of the,
real
it's like the
thing.
joke in
Concern,
the
isn't it? Yeah.
in the fandom is you start off D&D like I've got a set of dice, that's everything. Oh, maybe I'll get a second one just so I can roll advantage and just in case I
Hang
need
on a minute.
others.
I can get 32 dice for £5.
And before you know it, you're where I'm at, and you just can't move for dice.
Oh my gosh, maybe we should put up somewhere how many dice we've actually got, so we can all. We can all...
Like
is that
Dan
not a
staying
thing?
incredibly quiet.
Yeah, he knows. Dan knows. Dan's been playing a lot longer than I have, and I can guarantee Dan, like myself, has certain dice that only belong to certain characters, or
Absolutely.
or the true sign of a DM, certain schools of wizardry.
I have certain coloured dice for certain kinds of animals and beasts and humanoids.
Yeah, he
and
does.
What?
I should stopped a
Interesting.
long time ago. Oh, it's a dragon today, is it? Oh, I'll get this set of dice out.
Yeah, we're
Red
definitely
dragon,
going to
eh?
need those dice stats, guys. I need to know
Yeah,
now. I need
I
a
think I
number.
need to
Not
know.
about a dice swinging contest.
Don't worry, I'm nowhere in the running for this. I just really want to know.
Is
I
that-
don't think
is that-
any of us are.
Is this now the big dice
Definitely not.
energy? The BD.
It is.
Big dice energy.
How many dice you
Dice
have is
energy.
what you do with them that counts, all right?
And Brad has been rolling a lot of under fives recently.
has.
I'm gonna lie that. Yeah,
Plus-
Brad, you have got another set of dice, right? You've
I've
like
used every
they're in the
single
dice
dice.
jail, right?
I've used all of them. They've gone through. It's just not happening. I have to buy a new set. I'm gonna have to buy a new set.
Isn't it before
Everyone knows
Christmas?
that the whole dice luck thing is complete nonsense. It does not obey mathematics.
Yeah, said
yet-
the man who, in the last episode, said you bradded my dice. You
Look,
made it a thing.
Let us know on all of our socials, which is at Total Party Winner, at Blood Song Party, and at Blood and Song. Get on there. First of all, like and subscribe while you're there, right? Because we've noticed that only
Yeah, man.
1% of people getting on there have subscribed, and all the other 99 haven't. So
That
do
goes a
that.
long way
Join this
towards
for
getting
free.
us Twitch affiliates as well. So it's like it goes a long way to sort of solidifying us and allowing us to continue this. So spread
then-
the word, definitely.
Show us your dice picks, all right? We want to see your collection.
Late night dice picks. Unsolicited
night
dice
dice
picks.
That sounds
I'm going to start
terrifying. Well, let's move swiftly away from that horrifying
Oh,
image.
cool, man. It's community engagement.
Of the
Have you
worst
seen our
kind.
community? Because they're lovely humans.
They are beautiful, beautiful
but I want to see
people.
late night dice picks from any of them. Because, that's just
You
not.
can abbreviate dice as well by taking the E off. You know, I'm just saying.
No, it's
you
a
know?
singular one. It's a late night dice, not die in general.
Okay.
Just a singular. Has anyone else done anything pleasant or restful or particularly exciting over this winter period? Christine.
Christine, raising your hand.
I got.
like
I
I'm at
was
school.
like, look at my finger, please. I know you're a teacher. Come on, this matters. I got as a Christmas present from my sister a pangolin family to adopt.
That's amazing.
Yeah, man, I totally got.
That's such
A whole
thoughtful
family?
A whole family.
It's Becki called it.
I
It
call
is.
it a
It's just
tootle of
on
toots.
the adoption certificate. It says the. She calls it a tootle of toots. It calls it the pangolin family. Christine Hunter says adopted. So I've adopted all of them. They're all my children.
Oh,
The
Every single
entire
one.
family, like all pangolins.
Well, luckily, I've missed this Christmas, but next Christmas it's going to be expensive. So, you know, we'll see what goes on. I'm very pleased.
Does this mean you've now got to take a trip out to visit your children at some point?
I don't know. Can you imagine? It'd be great. It's the Born Free Foundation, so that's not
Oh.
too far. It's Africa, right? Let's do it.
Sure, right.
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, there's no
There's no
restrictions
problem
on
with
travel.
travelling.
I mean,
at the
I
moment,
can't
is
travel
it?
to the
Yeah,
shops
nothing
down the
anywhere we
road.
want.
The British passport is worth the most at getting you into other countries. So I
I know,
hear.
right? Especially if you get a blue one. Isn't that right? No,
Uh-oh.
okay. I
Uh-oh.
know. Let's steer away.
Chat's
Let's steer
going
away.
wild. Chat's going wild.
But yeah,
that's
so that
lovely.
was my exciting thing
I
that
mean,
happened.
by the way, even if it's not pangolin, I fully recommend going to Africa anyway.
Have you been?
Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Right, this isn't the place for you to flex now.
No, I'm
Brad.
not. That's it.
Right.
Oh,
Right,
we've all been to
conversation
Africa,
ended.
Brad.
Conversation
We've all
ended.
stood in the Sahara at midnight and watched the stars. Come on.
We've all
Yeah,
seen
taking dice picks. Yeah.
We've all seen Blood Diamond, right? So it's fine. All right. The
That's
Last
the
King
reference.
of Scotland. That's it's all we've all been there.
The last King of Scotland's pretty much happening right now, isn't it, with Trump?
Oh God, don't.
Sorry, I shouldn't have brought
Veering
that up.
swiftly away.
We've been totally political this morning.
We've had
Morning?
2 weeks off, and
Yeah.
that's
It's
it.
not
It's
the
just
morning.
done our brain.
And our
So
one shot was incredibly political, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As well.
certainly was.
It's the
Um,
kind of politics I don't want to see. But
Can I just say, I really enjoyed it. Having
Thank you very much.
not being there on the night. I didn't say you, right? I said
Well,
it.
yeah,
I
but I'm
did.
just saying.
You were really good. Well done, man.
Yeah, it was great, and we want to see more. We want to have more guest stars in 2021 when we can fit them into the story and it makes sense. And we want to have more one shots. So let us know in the comments as well. Are there any sort of one shots, game engines, anything that you think you want the the Blood and Song? We've been prepping up
Just
on
a
our
gentle-
podcast, slash deep.
gentle
like that,
plug
do you like that
there.
sort of cross promotion. I've just took 2 codeine tablets because I've got a headache. So that's
What's that,
that's
Freudian
gonna
plug?
explain. Yes, yeah, exactly. So yes, so Blood and Song guests, Blood and Song, whatever the hell I was talking about just now.
One shots.
One shots.
Sean's going to
Um,
be really great tonight. He's going to be just fine.
I mean, he's
I was
channeling
complaining
energy
before about
we're
having a
all
headache,
feeling.
and
So,
now,
you know,
I'm
it's
great.
going to be great. Don't worry. We're in the middle of a huge fight. Nothing's going to
are.
go wrong.
You've just gone full locked and on.
But
Yes,
it also
Has
looks like
he?
you're the only one surrounded. So good luck, Sean.
I've forgotten
We're rooting
what
for
my
you.
character does. Okay, all right.
Brilliant. I mean, I guess with that, let's jump into tonight's episode of Blood and Song.
Hello. We're just
Hello,
bragging about
everyone.
internet speeds.
Right.
Thrilling stuff.
Don't worry, they didn't catch any of it. You're safe, Sean. The police are not coming around tonight.
Just bragging, you know.
Just flexing. He's just
flexing.
flexing. Right, well, previously on Blood and Song, a long time ago it feels, 2 weeks, you had left the city of Cinderbane, heading north to find a possible cure or just more information for the plague that seems to be plaguing the southern states of, or the southern regions of Chinella. You had wandered along the road, having a fairly easy journey, when you had been stopped by a gentleman, a balding man, running up to you, screaming. And you had followed him to find a small farming village had been completely overrun with screaming undead creatures. You had promptly started laying waste to them quite easily, actually, annoyingly easy from a DM's point of view, but it's fine. Great victory, good teamwork. And some characters had started displaying some rather unusual characteristics, but we don't know who's seen anything yet, because we are still in the furor of battle, right in the heat of the melee. As it is a new year, and to mix things up a little bit, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is roll initiative, please.
Yeah, it's
let's
good, 'cause
re-roll and see what happens.
Definitely ain't gonna remember what order I was in.
I did have it written down.
That's
but I
why
thought,
he's mixing it up, folks. That's why he's
Let's-
mixing it up.
Let's start the year off with, you know, some new energy, some new dice rolls.
Let's see what Christine's D20. What did you all get a D20, guys?
Oh,
No. Oh, okay.
see,
fine.
first the
Just me then.
sphere and now the
Why did you?
D20.
Yeah, why did you give it to Dan? You know he was gonna gloat.
It was the luck of the draw. I put them all in a little bag. Oh my gosh, this is going to keep coming up on me.
Yeah.
Well, it rolled a
Fine.
16, so you're okay. You're okay. Everyone's
Anyone get over 20?
Yeah, that'll be me. 26.
Okay, right. So, oh, I need to roll for remaining. Okay,
That feat is almost too good.
it certainly is. Right, 20 to 15.
I got a 17.
I've got 18.
18. So we've got Seed, then Octavius. 10 to 15.
11.
14.
Faeza. 6, and then Ryan, how'd you do? Oh,
Oh,
20,
mate.
I got a 3. I got a 3. I started 2021 off with a 1. So, critting all last year, and then this year, the 1.
What you didn't know,
first roll.
Ryan, was written into that Christmas card was a hex that gave
Oh,
all
no!
of my bad luck to you.
Bradded your dice. And Ripper. Right, well, this action starts off then with you standing in the kind of middle of this very small hamlet. There's a well fairly close to you. Lak, you are currently free of zombies. Sorry, it said the Z word. Free of these undead monsters.
Undead monsters.
Don't say the Z word.
But my brother is surrounded by them, right?
He certainly seems to be.
Well, they're not dead again, are they?
What's
They're
dead again? Is that a
standing
sequel to
and-
some sort of zombie movie?
Time to help him out then. I'm gonna
Okay.
not fly, but I'm gonna run very fast to the square to the west of him, so just hanging out behind him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stab the one to the north of him with my spear.
Okay, so which, by the way, should all be set up for you now.
I noticed. Thank you so much. Homebrew D&D Beyond. Bra, bra.
So as a recap, yeah, that's it. You'd bound the thing that you'd found to it. So as you come,
stuff.
you make your attack roll, please.
I can make my attack roll. Thank you, Christine. That will be a dirty 20.
I mean, that hits.
Wicked.
Roll damage.
Roll damage. 1, 8 plus 6. Oh, 14 points of damage.
As you seeing his brother in danger, sprints maybe 30 feet to the east, stops just behind his brother, and uses his brother's lifting his shield up as a chance to reach over and just stab down his spear and just straight through the eye of one of the hulking undead there that just drops instantly to the ground. You notice blue, its eyes kind of like flash blue, and there's like little wisps of smoke as like it seems to all kind of melt out as the creature falls off and you pull your spear out of it.
Gross. My arms, which are still my extra arms. So now, from if you were to view 6 from the front, there would be 8 arms going on from behind, because I've got the 6 and 2 of his.
That is cool.
And the arms are going to punch. I'm going to use my flurry of blows for the first time because my brother's in trouble, and so my fist will lash out twice, once at the north and once at the south.
Okay, and they've got 10
non-zombie.
feet reach, have they?
They have got 10 feet reach.
Marvellous.
That's correct.
Make 2 attack rolls then,
Here
please.
we go then.
Don't forget to cross off your key points.
I have sadly done so. First attack. Oh, is a 26.
I mean, that
Jeez
hits.
Louise. And the second attack is, oh, not so good. 13.
Still hits.
Oh,
So,
wicked.
can you roll damage for both, please?
I can. That is, first one is 4, so 9 force damage, and the second one is 7 force damage.
So, Lack, as you're fighting, you just kind of feel rather than see this presence behind you. You see a spear come over and this one creature just fall to the ground, and then reaching round, 2 spectral, slightly astral looking fists just wallop into the 2 zombies, almost kind of grabbing their heads and smacking them into the one in the middle. And they both look disoriented and fairly injured, but they are still standing.
That's okay. I used all my movement to get there, so I shall end. That's everything I can do. Thank you.
Marvellous. Next up in 2021 is the monsters. So at this turn, what happens first is this creature just to the northeast of 6 is going to move forward, having just been punched, and it's going to kind of reach forward and try and grab at 6. And that's cocked. That's awful. And it kind of reaches for you, but one of your spectral hands just pushes back very easily. The other one is going to do the exact same thing, moving forward and making a roll. Here is going to be 21 to hit.
21 hits. Yeah.
Sorry, it's aiming at Lack.
Oh, 21 does hit, yes.
In that case, it does. 10 points of piercing damage as it reaches forward and bites into you. Can you just make a Constitution saving throw, please?
I can try. It's not my best one. 11 plus 2, 13.
That's enough. So as it bites into you, you almost feel this wash of hot, kind of like an acid-like material flowing into your veins, but you just shake it off, pushing through with your meditation techniques, and it seems to have no other effect. The one at the back that had been fleeing from the turn undead earlier, now having been struck earlier, turned, and both it and its friend are going to make attacks at 6 with advantage because he is now surrounded. So the first one,
Duck.
16 to hit.
No, it misses.
And
Which
second
one is that that's hitting me, by the way?
So north east just took a swing at you and missed.
I think I'm going to use a superiority dice to riposte.
Okay. So you get to make the attack action, I believe.
Yes. Do I just roll with my standard weapon?
Yep.
Do you have any bonuses for being in Loxodon form?
No, not at this point, I don't believe. Well, not yet, not yet. It's a 27 to hit.
That hits. So you can roll your damage.
Oh, 8. I do 8 damage to it. It's not too bad.
Okay, so you reach out and you stab with your scimitar, kind of slicing across the belly, some kind of black ichor type stuff that's just not the same black ichor that you'd seen in Cinderbane, just kind of decay, spills out a little bit, rubbing down its chest. And as you slice out, the other one rolled another 21 on its attack, reaches over and bites down for 4 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution save, please. Can't hear you for a moment there. Are you muted?
Oh, I'm not muted now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, can hear you.
I got 13 on that.
So you're fine. So again, you also feel this hot acid running through your veins, but you just ignore it. Nothing more than lactating muscles for a soldier who can just ignore that kind of burning sensation. At this point, everyone else is stood there thinking, oh, thank God this is going well, until in the north, you hear this crashing window as stumbling out of the house and falling through the window, pushing through the door, 3, 4, 5 more of these creatures just come out and start running using the remainder of their movement. One is going to run south, southwest. One is going to, and the others are all going to start running south as far as they can go. That's as far as they can move. One is going to get just far enough to make a roll on luck. He is now going to have advantage due to the one flanking.
I don't like that. I don't like you with joy on your face, Jolly. It never bodes well for us.
I'm going to roll the new dice my cousin bought me to see if how this goes. So that is... Oh, that's lucky for you. So that's 14 points of piercing damage.
To
Lack.
And to Lack, yeah.
Oh, thank God.
You need to make a con save.
That's a natural 20, so
Nice.
that's
Yeah,
fine.
you save. So again, nothing. The one that managed to get within distance to you, Octavius, rolls a 10 as it stumbles towards you. And having just apparated there, you manage to bat it back quickly and resume a defensive stance. Although you do now notice you are flanked by the dog behind you and this creature. And that is going to be their turns. Seed, it's your turn. Then Octavius, you're afterwards.
Okay, I'm going to move 40 feet north, which should place me just southwest of Faeza, I think.
Okay, southwest of Faeza, there.
Yep. And then I'm going to aim my longbow at the... So I'm going to go for the creature that's just entered the fray and is now in combat with Lack.
Okay. So Seed sees all these beings shambling and running, screaming towards her two compatriots, and they run forward, pulling their bow, taking shots.
And that is an unnatural 20.
That hits. Let's roll damage.
Perfectly human natural 20.
Perfectly natural. So that's an 8 damage.
8 damage. So this arrow takes it straight through the ankle, and it just stumbles a bit and turns and is looking pretty feral and furious, but is still standing.
And that's me done for this round.
Okay, Octavius. Me, it is your
Octavius, I would like to Misty Step onto the roof to my northwest.
turn. Okay, so disappearing almost like a if you've ever kicked up a fire and you see cinders just skittering around in the wind, you suddenly see Octavius disappear and then appear again in another spark of cinders on the roof of the building to the north.
You went for the northeast roof
Oh,
there.
sorry, I know directions. It's been a long day.
It's alright.
And then what's my equipment? Oh, I thought I had a dagger. I don't. Ah, well, I don't do anything then. And my bird takes the dodge action since I didn't command it.
Absolutely fine. Great. In that case, Faeza, you're up. 6, you're afterwards.
I would like to take one step to the. Oh, hang on, let me think about this. No, I would like to go 2 paces to my north.
Okay, so you're just southeast of the well.
Yes, and I'd like to cast Tasha's Caustic Brew towards. There's the 2 cadavers, whatever, which are northeasterly of me.
Yes.
So the one that's the one that's west of those 2 northeasterly ones. Just to throw out the theatre of the mind.
Okay, so the one that's literally 10 feet away from you, fairly close.
That's right. So if I cast Tasha's Caustic Brew, that should catch that one and probably the one behind it, if I'm right.
Yes, it's a straight line, I believe.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah, fantastic. So that will catch both of them. The one nearest the small vegetable garden.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Is that what it is? Oh, lovely.
Yes.
No, it's good.
Yes.
Well done.
Deep
The level
lore.
of detail in your maps are amazing.
There's deep lore behind the vegetables, and that I guess you'll never uncover them.
Never know. It's a 5 foot wide.
Okay, I'm assuming it's a dex saving throw.
It is, yes.
There we go. So the first one fails miserably, and the second one fails miserably.
Nice.
So they both fail. So you can roll damage.
Great. So rolling damage is having us to take 2d4 acid damage at the start of each of its turns.
Okay. Does it take any damage when the spell is cast?
Doesn't look like it. A stream of acid emanates from you, 30 feet long and 5 feet wide in the direction you choose. Each creature in the line must succeed on a dexterity saving throw or be covered in acid for the spell's duration, which is.
So it would be 1 minute, probably concentration.
And all be covered in acid for this, or until the creature uses its action to scrape or wash the acid off itself or another creature. A creature covered in the acid takes 2d4 acid damage at the start of each of its turns.
So it doesn't take any damage now. At the start of its turn, it will take damage. But they are covered in this thick, caustic green substance that smells like if you've ever damaged a battery. And it's just that horrible caustic alkaline smell just seeping up and hissing slightly. So that's movement, casting a spell. Are you asking Toots to do anything?
I am, yes please. I would like Toots to force. Was it rendered? Yeah, I must learn her stuff as well off the heart. She's
Toots
not got many. Force empowered rend. So I'd like her to go to the one that is directly south of. Is that 6? Yes, south of 6.
Okay, so she will move up there.
Yes, force empowered rendering. That person.
So Toots starts almost kind of running, hind legs up, and brings up her claw and brings it down on to the cadaver. We'd like to roll for damage, please.
Roll for damage or roll?
Roll to hit.
Yeah, I got a. I got a 19.
Oh, that hits.
That hits. Thank you very much. And then damage is 1d8 plus. Nice, 9.
9 points of damage. As Toots runs up with a toot, furiously pulls up her claws and just slices down. Her mechanical claws just rend through all of the kind of sloughed off flesh and the weakened bones, and this creature just hits the deck. And it's like if you've ever torn up a dirty rag, but it's covered in giblets.
Lovely. Okay.
That's exactly what it's like. And that's marvellous. So that's movement attack.
She's going to use her last bit of her move to go directly south. South of Faeza.
Okay, so moving back to just behind Faeza there. Fantastic. 6, you are up.
6 is still sort of rippling with this sort of celestial form. It's sort of ghost-like, and it just from last session, it looks to, I believe, that Lack is able to recognise it as a sort of Loxodon form, this quite clear celestial presence. If anybody else is able to see it, it's very likely to appear unusual, sort of clouded. You know, it's as far as I'm aware in Erionwel, this sort of thing is highly irregular.
I mean, I would say currently people looking are Lack, Lack, Faeza, Ripper, and Seed. If you could all make me perception checks at disadvantage, please, because you're in the middle of a combat.
Would I have a difference being a paladin? Because I
No.
sort of know. Okay.
And also Lax, with his well-established arms, is almost shielding. Six from view.
Which check? Sorry.
Perception.
That's
at disadvantage.
Yeah, at the disadvantage, I have an 11.
11.
I rolled a 6.
Faeza.
Oh, sorry. Say again.
Perception at disadvantage.
Clear, that's a 0. If you're not paying attention on perception
I
checks,
know,
Sean, you don't want to make that rule a thing.
The
You don't want to make that
disadvantage.
rule a thing.
That is true.
That is the thinnest
I can
of
only
ice.
apologise. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't be
That's
trying to
okay.
keep abreast of current affairs. It's a 12 is the disadvantage.
12.
Yeah.
So you can all see that 6 looks weird, but there's a lot of weird stuff happening right now.
There's a lot of arms flying around.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And
Carts
again, with
being drifted.
Lax arms being sort of slightly spectral in their things, it's very looks weird, but probably nothing too weird to any of you. So 6, it's your turn still.
So he grapples his scimitar in his trunk, and with his just for flavour, he'll still be using his hand for mechanically. With his radiant consumption still activated, he'll swipe the. I haven't refreshed my screen, but I assume there's still a dude directly in front of me.
Yes.
To my east, to the east, directly in front of me.
Yes, there is.
So I'll attack him with attack it with my scimitar.
Make an attack roll.
That was a 12.
That hits.
Okay, good. Whew. I still have Bardic Inspiration as well, by the way, I remembered. So thanks for that, Seed. Okay, yeah, that hits. And then I'll go for... That's an 11 damage plus 4 radiant damage.
So as your hands adopt this position, almost like you're puppeteering your trunk for a moment, but they're not. And then the trunk just reaches out and grabs the sword, and it's almost like one of those rope dopes. You look like you're gonna hit with your hand, and the trunk grabs it and brings it down. It cuts deep into the navel of this creature, slices down, and there is this blinding light as it just sears apart like hot flesh and just falls to the ground, completely riven in two in front of you.
Nice. And so 6 is, he's in serious pain. He's burning from the radiant light. He takes 2 radiant damage and goes down on one knee, tries to steady himself with his scimitar, and the other 2 will take 2 radiant damage as well.
The other 2, so the 2 to the north and northwest.
Yes, I might not refresh my thing. Yeah, whoever's
that's fine. No, they're still there. They've both taken damage. So as this light spills out, as you cut down one, it almost seems to kind of ripple and spread in the air like when you throw dust and it just takes a moment to settle. And the moment these light sparks, these radiant sparks, fall onto these creatures, they almost go up like dry paper in tinder, and they seem to burn where they stand. Ooh. And all 3 of them in one round just disappear.
Well, that is nice, isn't it? Woo! Then I think what 6 does is he takes this opportunity to get himself back up on his feet, and as a bonus action, he removes his radiant consumption, and he returns back to his normal form.
Okay, thank you. Oh, did I? That one has.
And that will be.
Oh, no, that did.
Well, I suppose with his movement, maybe he'll take the long route and he'll plant himself. He'll go north 2 squares and west 2 squares. I think he likes to be in the thick of it.
Okay.
So he's going to plant himself in between those 2. Yeah, perfect.
Absolutely fine. So he runs to the northwest a little bit, throwing himself into the fray of the other combat, looking a little tired, but certainly like he's just had an important experience. At this point, the hound on the floor makes a jump for the spectral bird, the firebird that is still floating there, and with disadvantage because the bird is floating, he only manages to get a 6, so he's not going to hit. So these deathly cadaverous jaws just bite, snapping into the empty air as this fiery bear just floats neatly around. Ripper, it is your turn.
I'm going to take 3 steps northeast, so I'm standing basically below that ghoul of the two.
Which one? The
one on
to
the left.
Yep.
The one on the left, yeah. And I'm going to attempt a polearm attack.
Fantastic. So you, Ripper steps forward and plants himself in front of Faeza and just wields his mighty rods, goes for it. So childish.
So childish indeed. And that childishness is going to land me a 23.
That hits.
Lovely. And so attacking versatile. They are going to reroll 1s and 2s on damage dice, which is good. And I rolled a 5, so that's 8 points of damage.
So you step forward and you just whack this creature around the head, and its head turns full, kind of almost 180 degrees, and then clicks back round to stare at you. Its jaw dropping and saliva dripping down.
Well, in for a penny, 2 for a pound, and I'll use my bonus polearm attack.
Go on.
Hit for a 14.
That hits. Roll damage.
Lovely. Hold on a minute.
So it's just a D4.
Yeah, but great.
Just a D4.
It's reroll 1s and 2s on damage dice, right? So
Yeah.
I got in a D4, so I got 2. So providing I don't. Yeah, that'll do. I got 3. I got 3, baby. I got 3. It's 3 plus 3, 6 points of damage.
Okay. So as you turn around again, as its head goes, you try smacking it the other way, and like a corkscrew, it falls off backwards, completely unscrewing, almost in a comical fashion, and just plonks to the ground. Boom. The body goes over, and the acid dissolves through the little that remains.
That's going to be the end of my turn.
Then we're back to the top of the order and back to Lack.
Okie dokie. So there is one by my brother right in front of me. Lack's like he's crouched into a slightly different position, so he's changed stance, which may indicate his weight is just leaning away from some of the wounds that he's got. So he's just dropped into a slightly different stance. And he stabs out with his sword. Ooh, a sword spear. That is a 12.
Hits.
Oh, God. Great. That's 10 points of damage.
So as he spins and just stabs low, it's... Have you ever managed to quickly build a kebab?
No.
It's a very similar sudden movement as he just skewers up through the belly, out through the back, and you almost just see as this spearhead pushes through, like a little bit of bone stuck on the end of...
Oh, sorry, sir. Not meant to have any bone in this one. I'll get to a fresh one. Yeah, I'll get to a fresh one.
Just took the D4 out there.
What are the health ratings on this place?
I mean, he got a 5 like 3 weeks ago. But everyone knows they just do like clean up for the day, right?
Yeah.
And as you pull your spear back again, almost no resistance, and the creature just drops to the floor, lying there. And again, you notice almost like a little blue fiery ring where the spear had pierced through.
And as it's falling to the ground, I'm going to follow through.
Okay.
And push the body away and fill into that spot below my brother, and one fist will come arcing over the top of him to bop the guy to the north.
Brilliant. Make your unarmed attack, please.
13. Good.
Hits.
Thank you. And that is 8 points of force damage.
So as you come round, you smack this previously undamaged creature, and it kind of reels back this astral damage, seeming to cause kind of great rents in its side where you've just smacked it. You can almost see the concave chest as the ribs snap underneath, but it is still standing.
And Lack drops really low, so he's like a almost cobra-y low.
So I believe that's your turn.
That is my turn, yes.
Christine, could you just roll 2 8s for me? 2 d4s for me, as it is now the creature's turn.
Is that how many windows break? How many zombies crawl through houses?
Definitely muted then. 6.
So where this chest had been impacted, and from where you're stood, you've got a clear line of sight to see the chest just break as this astral fist pulls back. You notice that the acid that you'd coated runs into the chest, and just, there's this horrible dissolving sound, and a kind of gurgle as this creature just collapses in a pool of molten acid and does not get up.
That might be my favourite death so far.
There's not many left. One is going to run towards 6 and make a attempt at attack. I shit you not, another natural 20.
Damn.
Could I use a reaction? Is that allowed?
Of course
Let
it
me
is.
just. Oh, where are they? I have a reaction of. I've got Warcaster, which means I can use my reaction to make an opportunity
it's not an
attack.
opportunity
to cast a
attack
spell.
because
Is that
that's
not a
when
thing?
it's within 5
Oh,
feet of
damn it!
moves
Every
away.
time.
Keep trying though. You will
Anyone
get
would
it.
think this game had rules.
So
Okay.
6, you
Don't
take.
forget that though. Keep doing it.
You take 10 points of piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Okay, I got 17 on my con save.
So you take no poison damage, but you do just take then the 10 piercing damage as the creature takes advantage of the shock of everything else to reach forward and manage to grasp and pull its claw down your already injured bitten arm, and you can feel the piercing run over the other wound, deepening it. There is one here that's going to run towards the bird, jump, and try and take an attack. Still at disadvantage. That was cocked. That was cocked. Oh my god, 2 cocked dice in a row. And both were awful. An 11.
Who you asking?
He's checking Octavius's bird.
Octavius.
Brad's bird.
He's just got to
It
lower
does
his
not
loads.
hit. Yeah, the bird's AC is 13.
Woo! So again, almost like jumping at an apple that's too high. It just can't seem to grasp it at all. And that is their turn. Seed, you are up. Octavius, you're on deck.
Okay, so seeing that 6 just got bitten, Seed is gonna rush north 20 feet, swing their longbow around, and aim at the creature that just successfully attacked.
Okay, so they run north 20 feet. So they're just getting past the cast and they get line of sight.
So I hate to say it, but it's a natural 1.
So as Seed runs past, they pull their arrow up, they bring it back, and they loose it, and they fire. Being slightly worried about hitting the bird, they aim just a little bit too high, and it arcs harmlessly over.
First of 2021, right? First natural one. So that's something to be celebrated. Oh, you got the first one. Oh, sorry, Becki, your one sucks. Rhymes we could celebrate. After that, doesn't matter.
That's older brother, younger brother there being like, nah, I don't not paying attention to what he's doing.
Nope, it
Becki,
came
you
second.
rolled the
Can't
first
be good.
one.
Right. So anything else on your turn, Seed?
That's it for C.
Okay, Octavius, you are up.
Octavius is going to cast Scorching Ray, and he's going to aim one beam at the dog, one beam at the zombie that attacked the bird, and one beam at the zombie that attacked Sixsmith.
Okay, make 3 attack rolls then, please. So the first beam's going against the dog.
That's natural 20.
Yay!
That hits.
Yay.
The second,
No!
The hex! I have the hex now!
The second one is a 24.
Yeah, that hits.
Yeah. And the last one is a 9.
Does not hit.
Okay.
So you missed the one
thank
by
God.
6 by 6.
The arc sword just crashes into the burn, into the ground. The first one just engulfs the dog. So again,
Well,
for
it
those
just
at home,
pierces a hole straight through. Smoke.
yeah, I would say roll damage for the sake of it. Let's see
Okay.
how badly you annihilate this dog.
So that's 12 plus 7, 19 damage for one ray.
So as this ray, the first ray you see just streaks straight down, and yeah, it's straight through, so much so that the dog doesn't even move for a second, and then just collapses, and there's just a smell of fizzing, burning flesh and hair.
Barely a second passes and points his finger at another one, and 4 damage hits that zombie.
How many, sorry?
4.
4. Okay, so again, this one jumps back, and the heat of it just kind of grazes it around the back, and you see it can lean forward a little bit, burns, but not quite as damaged.
And the last one basically hits like Sixsmith, right? Dance, motherfucker, dance. Just like misses.
Everyone looks up, and there's a very awkward moment where like someone on bass goes
trying to hide it.
Okay, Faeza, you are up.
I am. Could I step forward 5 yards?
Of course.
And I'm going to fire my crossbow at the whatever it is that's next to Sixsmith.
Okay, make a range attack.
That's all right. Thank you. That is 11.
That hits.
Does that hit?
That is its AC.
Yeah. Okay. So, huh?
That is
Okay,
exactly.
So
what
that
you
is
needed.
a. Oh, nice. Get in. Sorry. There we go. That means I need 1d8 plus 1. Oh. It's 3 piercing damage.
Okay, so the one that had already been previously damaged, and as it's making its biting slash against 6, you reach up and just fire, and the bolt arcs forward straight through its eye and out the back. And again, it kind of turns to look, this ghastly figure with a missing eye and just a hole in its head. You can see the light of the sun through it, and then it just collapses.
Brad nodding
on the
gently. I approve of this image.
All I can think of is Hot Fuzz in the garden.
Yeah.
Jolly good. So that is all that Faeza is going to do.
And Toots.
If Toots will go, I think it's 5, 10, 15, yeah, 20 yards northwest towards the dog.
The dog's
So
not
take
there
it-
anymore. You might want to refresh your screen.
Oh, the dog's
No,
not there.
no.
Oh, okay.
With 25 feet of movement, they can get to the far north to where the one just by the bird is, the last remaining foe.
Oh, sure. Then let's do that then. And I think we know what's coming. Force empowered rend, please.
So everyone standing by hears this like mechanical whirring of cogs and moving parts. As Toots runs, and again you just see her claws coming back. These sharp mechanical objects.
I have got 11.
So again, you hit. How do you want to do this?
Hooray. Oh gosh. Toots is going to, as she goes up, instead of just normally running, she's going to roll up into a ball and cannon towards this creature. And as she gets closer, she's going to stick her claws out through the sides, a bit like a chariot wheel, you know, when they've got the blades on them, and spin right around him and literally slice him in half. So then, and his body will just slide off.
It's always
the
the
top half
quiet
of his
ones, isn't
body.
it?
I know, right? I've been thinking about this a lot.
He's had dreams about
weirder.
this.
That's
He's had
too
dreams
much.
about
That's
this.
even weirder. That was amazing.
And that is exactly what happens as Toots,
Convenient.
everyone else sees her run, and then suddenly duck in, and you're thinking, that's not what Toots normally does.
Weird.
Roll and spin round like a furious, vengeful Tasmanian devil crossed with the chariot wheels of Boudica's revenge. And this cadaver is just sliced and diced neatly in two. It's like that one bit in Cube where you think nothing's happened, and then just falls over, and you find yourself stood in the village green in the eerie quiet, surrounded by figures. And today I'm going to call a bit of an early break because quite a lot's gone on with the world, and some of us need the loo and a little bit more. So folks, we will see you back here.
I like this one.
Of course it
He's
can.
suddenly warmed to the pangolin.
And in 10 minutes we will be, or less than 10 minutes, we'll be back soon, folks, after a quick loo break. See you in a bit. Hello and welcome back. Sorry about the earlier break, folks, but I think we are good to go now. So we find our party stood in the quite a nice looking farming hamlet, aside from the ruinous amount of boiled, burned, corroded, splattered cadavers that line. It's like if you've ever cooked eels and then dropped a tray of them. It's just a tray of dropped.
What a reference, Johnny.
I do have
something
one
we've all
question.
done.
I do have one question. How high is this roof?
You are now sent. Luckily, this is a farming hamlet. These are double-story buildings, so you are only actually about 15 feet off the ground currently.
Okay.
Ripper's gonna walk over to Lack, and he's gonna like fist pump all of his fifths that are there. Yes, mate. And he's gonna by doing that, he's gonna lay hands on him and give him some healing.
That's lovely. I was going to do the same, but now I don't have to.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
I'm gonna carefully try and lower myself and climb like the window ledge and
Make me
down.
an athletics check, please.
Yeah. Come on, Ryan. Give me your luck. A 5. So that's
Ratting the dice still remains.
athletics 0.
What
so
did I say?
5.
15 feet?
You did say 15 feet.
There's no way I can give him my bardic inspiration, is it? I don't know.
Oh, I'd still have bardic inspiration. What's that, Becki?
So I think that's an extra D6, I believe.
D6 at this stage, yeah.
Oh, if I can get above a 10, I think that might reduce some of the damage.
We'll see.
No, I rolled a 1.
This is gold.
Ryan, you've bradded his dice.
I've bradded his dice. So after giving him the fist pumps, oh mate, that was amazing.
In that case, you go to climb down, and as you sort of lean over awkwardly with one foot, the tile underneath you just slips. You smack your face and just fall backwards.
No, what I'd like to think as well is like the bardic inspiration. Like I start slipping, the tile holds for a brief second, and then I fall.
It's exactly like a Looney Tunes moment.
Octavius is dead.
Take 13 points of bludgeoning damage as I rolled
Okie dokie.
insanely high. As you just smack back on the ground.
Oh, yeah, I just sort of lay there because like I have
think
no breath at the moment.
Six comes over to Octavius and lies down next to him and goes, "Short rest? Shall we take a short rest?"
Yeah, just I'd lay down.
Ripper, brother, there were still people we needed to save here, and Lack runs to the southwest house.
Okay.
Knocks on the door. His arms disappear at this point. He knocks on the door.
They were all gonna knock.
Yeah, that would have been cool. I've got them for 10 minutes. Actually, let's keep them out. They'll all knock on the door. Anyone in? Anyone
In a polyrhythm, I'm sensing some like cross rhythms just going across in these doors.
It's jazz, man.
Yeah. Just try a performance check for
Your
door
Bollywood
knocking.
arms.
That's unbelievable.
The Tollywood arms.
Rolling. It's 18.
I mean, it's the funkiest arm knock you've ever heard. It's so funky that like Bootsy Collins just appears and goes, "Ow!" and then just disappears.
That cannon.
What does that?
Cannon.
Octavius, how are you doing? Like, how are you doing health-wise? How do you look?
I'll be fine. It's
Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. Just give me.
Is there anyone in?
A minute.
We think they're gone now. We're here to help.
Doesn't seem to be any answer.
Sorry, just by the way, Lack, I gave you 10 points back.
Thank you, Ripper. Appreciate
Six
it.
lays hands on himself. He does the old Ghost of Tsushima, hit his wounds and get himself pumped up, and he lays hands on himself.
Can I just ask a question about, the house that obviously we've been told in theory these people are in?
Mm-hmm.
How, if we're thinking about like the size of the house itself, did you say the roof's 15 feet up?
Yes.
Was that right?
So they're quite low 2-story buildings.
Okay.
They sense that they're very small and very cramped.
Basically, I was thinking if it was possible for me to cast Fairy Fire so we could get an outline of anything alive inside the house.
I believe verify you have to have line of sight.
Or do you have to have line of sight to see? Okay, I wasn't sure if we'd see like them.
I mean, you can check the wording on the spell. I'm happy to.
Lack's going to push the door open.
So as you push against the door, it is barred.
Okay, well, since I can use my astral arms to use wisdom instead of strength for strength checks, I'm going to try and...
Yeah, make me a strength check with your wisdom stat. Bloody monks, man.
That is
You thought
21.
that wizards were
That is
shifty, but
21.
monks, man.
Dan always just plays like bards or monks or something that just comes up with some weird fucking like amazing thing. Like, I love it.
Sneaky
Don't get me
things,
wrong.
right? Yeah,
My
yeah.
sneaky
Only
little
because
basket.
he's
Yeah.
a DM and someo's probably used this shit on him.
He's like,
I'm
right,
so
David.
glad
Like-
he's gone for quite a standard, just sneaky stabby rogue on my.
It's for the best. So as you're doing this funky knock, you kind of push. There's nothing, and then just go, Gah! And the door just off its hinges falls.
I said,
down.
is
The
anyone
drum
in?
beat at the end of the theme song for Blood and Soul. Is that basically what it does?
Yeah, let's do
That's
that.
exactly what it does.
That's where it comes from. That's where it comes from. It's
Yeah.
canon.
True. It's the Astral Arms that played on that record. And the store falls down. You say, is anyone there? And for the moment, you don't hear anything.
Seed, Ripper, you're good with anyone who's good at talking to people?
Yeah, I'll come along.
Six will
gonna-
join just shortly behind because he wants to protect Lack. And he'll give Lack a look as well that sort of says, thank you for protecting me in battle. It didn't go unacknowledged. But just a subtle... Just
Make
a-
an
Yeah,
insight
two of
check
his
to
arms
Black.
make a
What?
little... Oh, I'll make an insight. I would make an insight. It's okay, I've got... All right. 22.
Yeah. Again, you understand the look perfectly.
One of my arms makes like an elephant trunk. I'll come back again.
Nice. Can you just make me an insight check? 6.
You're just
Are
not
we
going to
just
get
gonna-
it.
Just going to drag this out. Okay, let me
I
check.
just want to see what the level of understanding
shoot.
is. It's all fairly new.
14.
Yeah,
Probably
that's
insight.
probably enough that you look at it for a moment like, what the... Oh.
Six does that thing where you sort of go to touch someone and then you don't know if it's the right move to make and then you sort of awkwardly
God of
hovering
War
there.
style about 18 times.
Yeah,
God of War.
when he's just behind like,
Yeah.
shall I show my son some love? Nah,
Nah.
I'm too awkward.
Oh, what's the point?
Well, if I learn anything, it just goes to their heads. So, as at this point, Ripper is walking forward towards the building.
I'm gonna walk through the door, and I'm gonna be like, "All right, hello. Your father and or husband, told us to come here and save you. We are. Well, I am the keeper. You know, the end of Illuria, so don't worry about it. We're all right. You're all right. We defeated all the monsters. You can come out. We're not here to harm you. Come on." I want to like sort of use, I guess it's be persuasion to just sort of be like,
Make me a persuasion check.
"Come on out. Don't worry about it. Everything's safe." 17.
With a 17, there's an awkward moment of silence. And then you notice as you look in and the light kind of, your eyes adjust, that the bottom floor is fairly kind of broken and smashed as though they ran in a hurry. And then there's like a little ladder that leads up to, it's not actually a full second floor, it's almost like a rafters that have got some boards on them. And peeking over the edge of the rafters is maybe a 7 or 8 year old girl who looks down, and she's got long flowing ginger hair. Her face is covered in freckles, and her eyes are just filled with tears and the tremors of kind of terror. And then just appearing behind her and kind of lifting her daughter up, you see what's clearly the mother. Is it safe? Can we?
Yeah, sweetheart, it's fine. Come down from there. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. It's all right. They're all gone. They're all gone.
So she tentatively climbs down the ladder. Her kind of brown worker's tunic completely stained from hiding. You can again see tears. They kind of smell faintly of sweat, a bit of that kind of terror sweat. And the mother looks really skittish.
Are you used to hurt at all?
No, thank you. Feliana, are you okay? And then the daughter looks, okay, I'm fine, mummy. And as she's put on the ground, she looks up and she comes up to you, Ripper, and you're looking down on her. She's tiny.
I'm gonna get down like.
She's actually smaller than Faeza. She's really young, and she looks up at you and just kind of grabs your knee a little bit and goes, "Are you a hero?"
Yeah, I am. I am a hero.
And you see her eyes just widen and like light up with this sheer joy.
But here's the question: did you keep your mum safe when you were hiding up there?
Yeah, I did.
Then in which case, I'm not the hero. You're the real hero.
You can see her eyes just burst into like utter delight, and she looks really proud. She does like that little nervous shake that really small children do when they just get so excited and they don't know how to express it.
I'm gonna like tussle her hair.
The mother comes up and puts an arm on you, and you notice that she's a slightly older woman. She's probably about 48, 49. She has some kind of dark red streaks in mostly greying hair, and her face looks lined and worn. She reaches out and puts an arm on you. You notice just a bronze bangle wrapped around her upper arm, and she says, "Thank you so much. We thought we were going to die. My husband, have you seen him?"
Yeah, he's the one that told us to come here. I believe he was following us. We came in quite a hurry. He told us to hurry to get here to sort of help you out. What happened in here? What happened in this village?
Well, at this moment, could Octavius just make a perception check?
I can indeed.
When there's a moment, Six would like to just briefly address their mother, I think.
That is +7. 9. So I rolled a 2.
You hear screaming.
Okay.
And the sound of undead.
I cast Healing Word at 2nd level on myself.
And
With a
run
spike.
for the hills.
So give me a second to do that.
We've still got the cart, haven't we? That's in the middle of the.
It was
With the
perfectly drifted into the.
To party.
two-
With Tokyo Night style.
Like
yeah.
a glove.
Like a glove.
And then I run to the door and I shout, "We have company! Everyone out!"
Come with us. I gesture to the two women.
They look at you and look startled, and the mother just nods, looks out and reaches into a cupboard and just pulls out a pack and throws it on her shoulder and says, "We're ready." And they walk out of the building with you.
I'm gonna grab the kid. I'm gonna put her take her and put her on the cart. I'm gonna help the mother up, and I'm gonna be like, "Right, heroes, keep people protected. I need you to look after her." And I look to the group and I'm like, "Octavius, what'd you hear? What's going on?"
Which direction did it come from?
I'm not sure, but more undead and potential villagers. So, oh, I've frozen the stream. Give me a second. We have potential villagers that are in need of assistance. So we may have to split up for people to guide the evacuation, people to help these 2 villagers out of danger.
Is there anybody else in any of the houses?
Yeah, I'd say as you've now left, you can all make the perception check.
I'd like to see if there's. Can I check if there's anyone in the other houses or anything? Is that what we're checking for?
Well, you're just making a perception check at the moment.
17
I've got
for Ripper.
11 for Faeza.
Unnatural 20.
23. Yeah, not
21.
Everyone over a 16. Everyone hears the screaming and the sound of the undead and recognises it. But anyone over a 16, you recognise that voice. It sounds like the man who led you here.
I'd
Hang
like
on.
to start running back in the direction that we left him.
As you run, because I remember I said you were coming to the top of the hill, so at this stage you're looking down. As you look down at the hill, you see 4 undead closing in on him as he's trying to run up towards you. Can you just make an insight check, please, Seed?
7.
They're undead.
Lack's gonna just sprint the hell past. Like, see, I don't know if Seed's stopped to have a look. Lack's not stopping. He's just going.
Okay.
He's gonna jump on the horse and he's gonna try it again.
Six turns to the mother and says,
Make me an animal handling check, Ripper.
Oh.
Six turns to the mother and says, I hope your child's name is a good omen. And then he runs off in the direction following Lack.
Ripper, how'd you do?
Phases.
I got an 18.
Phases going to stay with the mother and daughter.
Octavius
and
will also
just
stay.
Be ready with the sanctuary spell just in case, but it's not going to set it off just yet.
Toots over towards the little girl, who's, comes up to your shoulder, Faeza, and he kind of she protectively scoots in and gives a little toot just to kind of reassure the girl. The mother looks at you, Octavius, as you kind of ready your weapon, and she just nods at you, huddles in closer to the party. Seeds at the edge. Six, did you say you were chasing after Lack, or you were jumping on the cart?
Yeah, okay, I'll jump on the cart. Yeah, if he's on the horse and he's going all right. Yeah, that
Jumping on
right.
Wheels,
the
cart wheels are spinning.
Yeah.
And the cart burns out. And
Ding, 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 ding.
Tokyo drifts. As you crest the top of the hill, you look down. Ripper, you don't need to roll an insight check. You look and realise that those creatures attacking are the ones that you'd set free earlier with your turn undead. That the spell has now worn off.
Shizzle.
And they are closing in. They are currently about 10 feet away.
Can I, Johnny, I want you to let you know what to roll for this, right? But I want to try and do the thing I never got the opportunity to do earlier, and that is Tokyo drift the car into a bunch of zombies, into a bunch of monsters, and then grab the guy.
If I remember correctly,
Yeah,
not horses.
No, we bought horses.
No,
We
bought
horses.
horses.
We bought horses, man.
Horses.
We bought horses.
Cousin and
so
second
horses,
cousin.
60 feet. I mean, strictly by the rules, no.
Yeah, of course not. Of course not. I agree
But
with
this is quite cool, and I think this will be one of the very few moments I allow a rule of cool.
Thank you.
I'm also on the back, so maybe I can help assist action.
You can.
By,
So I watched.
Okay.
So I
using my
watched. This is a
feet to
really,
dig
this
the
is a
cart
really
round or
obscure
something.
reference, but I watched the most recent series of UK Top Gear, and there's this racing thing they do where they have one person on a bike and the other person leans on like a cart to counterbalance it, so they drift around corners on a trike, basically. So that's what I want Six to be doing. I want Six to be hanging off, ready to grab this guy, counterbalance me, where I swing the cart.
I will say we're going to call this a skill check for the two of you.
Cool.
I'm going to set the DC. I'm going to tell you the DC of 18.
Okay.
Because it's difficult, but you are going to be rolling with advantage, or you can both roll individually. I am going to say, oh god, I'm going to call this another animal handling check.
That's fine.
Because it's trying to, I would say you pass your first one to get the animals moving quickly and actually close the distance. This is the check to see if you can swing around and actually bludgeon these creatures.
Shall I roll animal handling as well?
Up to you. Either Ripper can roll with advantage, or you can both roll once. That's between the two of you.
It's up to you.
I've got. Let's roll individually because I've got inspiration.
Yeah, I've got bardic inspiration actually. Can I use that?
Okay. Rules is written. It's fine. Go on.
So I'm gonna burn my inspiration to try and roll.
Well, don't burn your inspiration until you've rolled it.
Oh yeah,
first.
that's very true.
Oh, I got 19. I don't need to.
I'm gonna need to use that inspiration. That is what I'm talking about. That's a 17.
Okay, so
mark that inspiration off.
The combined roll then.
Average is out at 18. That's lucky, isn't it?
Yeah, Lax sprinting down the hill towards. Seed is standing there and probably at this point drawing their bow or getting ready to do something. And then, I mean, if Limp Bizkit's rolling existed in this world, suddenly the rolling as
that
this
musical talent we've all got
just
here, it will.
batters down the hill, and at the last moment, you're thinking, "What the f?" Six leans out, looks back at the party, gives a little glint. Ding! Setting sun perfectly catches
It's a Bollywood look. It's got to be a Bollywood look.
And this cart drifts somehow.
Whip it round.
And well, I would say that the mules screech to a stop, terrified of these ravenous undead, and that sends the cart spinning. I'm going to say, Six, can you make an attack roll, please? I'm going to say momentum is going to give you advantage on this. Because I'm
Meanwhile, at the top of the hill, Octavius is like to Faeza, I've never seen anything like it in all of my life. Have you?
This is like Octavius finally appreciating something. Is it just a straight D20 roll for attack?
It's your attack, like your normal melee attack, as you've got your scimitar out, hanging off the side.
Oh, I thought he was going to collect the guy.
It's not very good. I only rolled a 10, but I can do my bardic, can't I?
You have advantage. You said you have advantage.
Oh,
yeah, you've got advantage.
14 with advantage.
That's enough. So as he comes around, the first creature is at the point where it's bitten into the guy, and you see him screeching. How's he doing his con save? Okay. And you see him cry out and fall, bend over in pain. And as he does that, your sword just comes down, and Bollywood style, these three are just perfectly line up, and you swing round and take all of their heads in one blow. The momentum of the cart swinging, carrying you the same way, and it kind of screeches to a halt. The man looks up at you and then just collapses.
Do you need a lit? Oh, I didn't hear it. Oh.
And that's the Andheri way. And the arms come in.
That's how you drive. That's always how you drive.
Oh no! I missed my perfect opportunity to be too soon, Junior.
So at this point, I say that anyone else who wants to can close the remaining kind of 40 feet. The guy has literally just dropped down. He is shaking currently on the floor.
Ripper, see to this man, please.
I cast Lesser Restoration on the man.
So
this might be. Do you approach?
So Octavius, are you bringing the daughter and mother down the hill?
I've left. Oh, okay. Are we bringing them down? Because I left them with Faeza. I just
not to see their daddy, not to see daddy bitten up.
Up to you.
I've moved off without them, regardless.
Protect the little young girl named after a goddess. Don't mess her up. We know how this works in computer games.
Okay, shall I do a quick? I'll do a quick medicine check to see if he looks like he's
Make me medicine
bitten
check.
or he's just damaged.
Yeah.
Does it look like these are undead that will turn him? Is what I'm trying to find out.
I think in the meantime, Faeza has or Toots has made a little saddle, or when she does her thing with her rippling. What's the word? Scales. Thank you so much. Yeah. She does that so that it creates a nice saddle, but this saddle is big enough for two, so the mum and the little girl can sit on Toots, and then Faeza's going to walk up to the top of the hill with Toots some distance behind her, so she can see if it's okay and see if she can get a thumbs up.
14 I rolled on my medicine check.
So that's enough for you to see that it's the same kind of wounds that you'd received earlier, but it seems he doesn't have your soldier's stoicism, and he has been quite brutally injured by this poison running through his veins. As Octavius has run down the hill, sees him, recognizes instantly something's not looking right, reaches down, and this red energy coalesces against him, but it's not an angry red. This is the kind of the warm red of the setting sun, which is actually perfectly framed by the fact the sun is close to setting now, and this light just descends, and you hear a gasping as the guy starts to breathe a little bit easier and just starts crying.
Dude, one of your potions, maybe.
I've never.
No.
Octavius gets up and goes, "You're okay now," and then walks away.
I think because I was going to say, because obviously Seed hasn't gone as far forward as you guys, because obviously you guys have travelled a lot quicker. So because at this point, presumably I'd still be able to see over the back of the hill that the mum and daughter are coming up, and over the front of the hill what's happened. I think Cedar's going to start, once they've realised that the guy is okay, Cedar's going to start heading over the hill to basically gently head off the mum and daughter coming any closer.
Well, Faeza is at the top of, or probably at the top of the hill by now, and Toots is hanging back because Faeza just gives a little hand signal to say, "Stay where you are."
Describe it. The hamlet's on the top of a very shallow hill, and then so the wounded is at the bottom. So you're now walking back up to the top where
covered
Faeza is.
In corpses, by the way.
Oh yeah, I mean they are looking around, and it's
horrifying.
It's like the Hemwick fishing hamlet for anyone who's ever played Bloodborne. It's just horrific up there.
Do we think that he's mortally wounded? Is what Sixsmith would want to know.
With your roll, you'd have sensed no.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to be any more than what you'd suffered. Some kind of like
Can we
it's
give him
almost like the rot in the bite had been dangerous, but with the restoration that it appears Octavius has just given him, that should head off any kind of poisons or anything that might linger or infection.
Okay, great.
I'm gonna pick him up, sort of like arm over the shoulder, and while I'm hoisting him up, I'm grabbing his arm, grabbing his forearm. Go on, mate, you got big old forearms for a farmer, ain't you? You know, it's all that slinging A or something like that, isn't it? And then I'm gonna heal him up a little bit while I'm doing that.
Okay, as you pump some healing energy into him, you feel a little bit of colour. You see a little bit of colour come back to his cheeks. You know, farmers don't have a lot of health to begin with, so he's looking comparatively, with those your tiny healing, it's actually done him quite a lot of good. And he's going, oh, why are you here? My wife, what's happened to them?
Don't worry about it, mate, don't worry about it, honestly, right? Here's what we're gonna do. I told your little daughter, right, Felania, or whatever her name was, right, Felania, something like that.
Feliana, literally after the goddess.
Yeah, that's the one. I was telling her, right, like she's the real hero for looking after her mum, right? So when we get back up there, you've got to like praise her for being a hero, looking after her mum, being the true hero that she is, right? Can you do that for me, mate? Don't worry about the village, yeah? We cleared out all the undeads that are up there. Your family's safe, right?
Cleared them out. Thank goodness. I was so worried my daughter would have to see them.
No, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
You didn't see them alive.
Yeah,
they were not alive.
They
but
just look like basically pieces of meat.
Look like cattle. She must have seen slaughtered cattle before. It's part of a farmer's life.
I mean, nightmares are just part and parcel of being part of this land.
What is wrong with you? She's 6.
While this is going on,
I was 5 when I saw my first dead body. Don't get uppity with me.
When this is going on, Toots is using her like nearly a meter long tongue to tickle the little girl's feet, just like one side and then the other, and just making these little troops and little toots just to keep her.
Sort of release the guy, slap him on the butt to get him walking up by himself, so he also looks a bit like a hero.
And you do now crest the hill with the man, and you come forth, and he sees the state of the village. His eyes immediately go to his wife and child. He runs down and falls on one knee as they're both on Toots and just picks them up in a broad hug. And there's kind of this quiet rejoicing for a moment, and then they kind of turn back and notice you. And the wife steps forward and goes, oh, words can't express what you've done for us. My name's Nyla, by the way. Who are you?
My name's Ripper. This is, we've got Seed, you've got Toots that you've been riding on, got Octavius who has got that bird, and you've got Lack and Sixsmith, they're brothers. I think that's everyone.
This is,
and Faeza as well. Faeza's the one who owns Toots as well.
I mean, really, you need to find a quick way of introducing yourselves.
Yeah, probably, but
we're just 6 cops.
Yeah,
so it's fine.
just 6 cops.
Just 6 cops.
And she goes, well, we can't thank you enough for saving us. Although you have left a bit of a mess. As she turns and looks at just the annihilation in the...
You have all been given the gift of life. What will you do with it?
Faeza's going to step forward and just say, well, you know, it's everything is all about perspective, isn't it? So maybe we can go and have maybe find a little nice warm nook, and we can have some tea, and maybe we can just have a little bit of a moment together, just to appreciate what's just happened, how happy we all are to be here.
And at this point, the little girl is looking at her father, and Ripper, you just hear say, "I'm a hero, Daddy! I saved Mummy!" And you see him say, yes, you are, Feliana. You're my hero. And he picks her up and he gives her an even bigger hug. And you just see them walking off together back towards what was clearly their home.
Lack comes up behind Ripper, and he goes to put his hand on his shoulder, and then he does. And like just a little pat on the shoulder, doesn't say anything, then just walks off to his brother.
The wife turns back to Six and says, "We will rebuild, we will farm. I don't know what's happened here, but surely this must be the end of it."
I mean, do you know where these undead came from? Were they seen in the distance at any point? Did they come from underneath one of the houses? Just a bit of information.
Do you have any neighbours?
Yes, this was them. These are, and as you kind of look around at some of the bodies.
So these are all the villagers.
You now get a sense that some of them are quite recent-looking cadavers, and then some of the few that haven't been, again, and I stress, obliterated by the party. Some are very much older corpses, and some are not. Can anyone hear that? Okay.
Yeah, there's something going on in someone's house, but that's all right.
I'm fairly sure that's my wife doing something ridiculous. Not otherwise. She's just obliterating.
Go easy on her, man. Go easy on her. She didn't deserve it. Just
She's
come on, Johnny.
obliterating
Know
the
what you're
house.
like when someone disturbs your game.
She's just blending corpses in the dark.
That's what we should do.
But yeah, you start to notice that the corpses are not all of a uniform age. There seems to be, some are real old cadavers, and some seem to be fairly recently dead, although they all exhibit the same signs of kind of rot and skin.
Investigate tracks around the village edge, the hamlet's edge, to see if there's any like footsteps.
Yeah, sure.
Shambling
Make an investigation
footsteps.
check, please.
And I'd like to check.
Can I not do survival?
Sorry, yeah, survival.
Ooh,
I'd
thank
like
God.
to check the older corpses just to see whether they might have, I don't know, some insight as to maybe they've come from somewhere outside of the village.
Insight check then.
It doesn't even matter anyway, because I rolled a 3.
Oh no.
So a 10 overall.
Brad's back, 2021.
10 overall.
I rolled a 17 overall for my insight.
Okay, so as you're looking, you get the sense that her story is correct, that some of these bodies, that none of them seem to say, in using modern zombie parlance, turned recently. They are all dead bodies that have risen. There is signs of earth and soil underneath their fingers, as though they have clawed their way out. And at this point, the woman Nyla turns and kind of points down the hill, and you see a small-looking cemetery, a few hundred yards away from the hamlet, where there is small, maybe 20, 30 graves. From here, you can't really see the graves, but she says, well, you know, they came from there. The rest of the village are away at the moment. The men have all taken the produce for the year, as it's, we're into autumn now. They've taken it down to shade, no, they're having to timber grasp to sell. And they're due back, and we just awoke in the night, and these things were hammering on the door.
If you allow us your hospitality, maybe a short rest, then maybe we can look into the cemetery afterwards and see the cause of this. Prevent it from happening again, perhaps.
Of course. Are we just going to leave the bodies here?
Well, one question. Niall, was this a functioning well beforehand?
That's exactly what I was. So Lack is. As you're
No,
saying
wait,
this,
hold on a minute. Was this a functioning well beforehand?
Yes, it's where we get our water.
Okay, good. I would like to do a perception check.
Well,
when I turned the undead, one of them fell down there.
No, Six kicked one down.
And yes, lots.
So I want to make a perception check to see if I can.
Octavius starts piling bodies at the hamlet's edge.
17.
That's enough.
Oh.
As you listen down, you hear a faint.
Lack's gonna tie a rope around the coach and just dive down, spear first.
I was gonna ask for the longbow.
I was gonna say we do have a
you
more
have a
effective
returning weapon.
method of
No, I'm just jumping down.
And that happens, so you jump Black straight down.
Six runs to the rope just to make
I've got
sure
the rope sort of tied round, so I'm holding
okay,
on to it.
Okay.
Make me an attack roll. Let's keep this simple.
I probably wanted to wait another level. Oh no, I've got it. That's great. This is why I did it. It's all good. So, attack roll.
Please say you're bringing the corpse up with you.
Is there any skin left on the hand after that?
18 plus 8, 26.
Yeah, that hits.
Nice.
That's 11 points of damage.
Yeah, that'll do it. So again, as you drive your spear through, you notice again that it's so easy to pierce the skin on this thing. It's like your new spearhead is just made for situations like this, and you now have it. You can feel it impaled on the end.
Okay, well I'm going to wrap it up and shout, "Up, please!"
Make a strength check, Six and Ripper, who I'm assuming are pulling.
We'll both do it, I reckon. Yeah.
So you can both roll a strength check, athletics check.
15. I've been rolling pretty good today. 15.
I rolled 19 on strength. Can I be using my strength and he be using his athletics?
It's athletics for both. Athletics is strength anyway, Six. It's just
so
athletics may have your
better.
proficiency.
Oh, I see. I got a 14 on athletics. That's not too bad.
I mean,
so you've got a minus something.
No, I said I got 14. It's not too bad.
Because you said you rolled a 19, didn't you?
Yeah, on a straight strength roll, I got.
Right. So yes, strength. Then do you have proficiency in athletics?
No.
So it's a 19 still for athletics.
okay.
Then athletics is your strength plus proficiency if you are proficient in it.
Oh, I see. Lovely.
So
strength plus proficiency. Oh yeah.
Yeah, which will be factored in.
Yeah.
So as you fairly easily pull up, and the first thing you see wound up is kind of this very dead cadaver pulled out, and then kind of hanging on to the bottom of the rope is Lack.
I'm definitely pulling a Superman pose.
Yeah, of course. Who's glistening more out of the three of us, though? That's what I want to know. Who's
Black
glistening
hasn't
in the?
Did you bring the zombie with you?
I did, because I thought if we killed it in there, it would pollute the water. So I brought it back up.
A good idea.
Yeah, I was thinking that. When I kicked it down there, I thought, yes, we've got to get it out again. I was definitely thinking that. Yes.
Yeah, I know lots of people were thinking it. I just thought I'd do it.
So gradually, whilst all this has been happening, Octavius has been piling bodies at one end of the hamlet. By himself.
Please place them.
Is there a bucket nearby where we can get some water out of the well?
Yes, there is a bucket by the well.
Great. So Faeza's just going to go, oh, brilliant. Time for tea. Stick the bucket down the well, bring it up, make a little fire, and
so you can use the well water that just had the zombie in
I'm
it.
going to boil
Test
it
it first.
and
do that sip that you do. Isn't that how it works? You take a sip to see if it's got.
But can you?
It's no problem. I walk over and I cast Purify Food and Drink, as just an action.
Great. Faeza probably doesn't even.
It's a ritual, but I don't want to spend the time doing it because I'm piling the bodies.
Okay, fine.
But Faeza probably doesn't even realise that he's had to do that because tea's all right.
Faeza, do you reckon you might be able to help the family fix the door that Lack broke down?
Yes, once I've made tea.
Sometimes I don't know my own strength, huh?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, happens quite a lot with me. Yeah, too.
The wife looks at you and just kind of slightly cocks her head because you're muscular, but you're still fairly slight without your huge.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely not. Definitely
no, and kind of looks at Ripper and then looks back at you and says, "And you knocked the door down?"
True strength comes from inside, huh?
Also, lots of arms.
She looks very confused, having not seen the arms, and right, I think I'll help with the tea. And she turns around and walks off.
Six addresses the gentleman only because the lady's gone off to make tea, and he says, "I imagine that we'll be burning the bodies, but because these are either your kin or your ex-kin, I thought maybe you would like to either say something or be a part of the ritual."
So the father, by this point, has come back out without the daughter, and he says, "Yes, we've managed to get her in bed now. I'm sure this is the accent I did 2 weeks ago. We're rolling with it." And he says, "Well, I've never seen anything like this before. I guess if we burn them, they definitely can't come back again. I'm not really a man for words. Please, whatever you think's appropriate.
We have a paladin in our group. I think he will do nicely to say something for your fallen comrades.
Right.
He's a man of words. He's very good.
Oh.
Faeza is going to pull out her little her little statues that she used for her prayer before, and she's going to say to little Feliana and say, now this is important. This is important that we remember those who've fallen. And she's going to begin a little prayer with her pieces, and she's going to say to Andra to guide and protect them and welcome them home.
So Feliana, who had been put to bed,
Oh,
you actually now see peeking round the door.
Okay.
And the moment her dad's got his back turned, scampers out, and that's when Faeza reaches out a hand and passes her.
Sorry.
It's fine. I'll tie it all together smooth.
I love it. I love it.
It's cinematic. Reshoots. We need the kid in again, and she needs to come out and see it. Okay, we'll reshoot that. Get Faeza.
It's good.
It's all smooth. So this is happening. You start your prayer to Andra, and Feliana's kind of bending down, and she doesn't know the words, but she's doing that thing that very small children do, where they start mouthing the words and just copying the sounds to try and make it look like she's joining in. And also, I think, may guidance be on you.
And then once Faeza's said the prayer, she's going to the tea should be sort of nicely brewed. She said, before we drink of the tea, we remember Feliana's gift as well as Andra's. So Feliana provided the water, and Andra provided the earth to grow the tea. And we offer this forward and pour it onto the figures, and then pours a little libation onto the earth, and then comes back, takes a little bow. And that's the end of that prayer.
The girl just looks wondrous at everything that's happened, and you hear her when you invoke Feliana's gift. She goes, "That's my name," in kind of awed reverence of a small child.
Octavius says, "What one fire ends, begins something else," and uses produce flame to gently lower a small flame into the pile of corpses before flaring it up.
Yeah, as the fire lowers in, and although some of them are kind of ichor-y, mucusy, fetid, rotting, fire takes very naturally to them, and it just starts flickering. And as you do this, you see kind of twittering around your head and flying in and out of the corpse fire and back around your hand the whole time you've got it, your bird flickers around, making sweet noises, and just lands on your left shoulder.
And then,
Octavius noticeably stills when the bird lands, but doesn't say anything.
Faeza's going to lean over to
Does the bird beat you
Feliana.
up? Does the bird do mean things to you?
We'll have to find out.
Faeza's going to lean over to little Feliana and say that the flames are Circa's gift, and the wind which carries the flames is Kerion's gift.
And she's nodding, going, "Okay, Circa's gift." Again, in just that apt kind of taking it all in way that only a 6-year-old can, but not really understanding, but taking it in.
Cool.
Very well read on the gods, brother.
Repeat that, sorry. I was
to me.
caught in the flames as they danced in the sky. What did you say?
I just said she's very well read in the gods, the way of the gods.
Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe we could learn a few things from her, I think. And he takes a little pouch of ashes from his urn, and he just sprinkles it over the corpse pile and says, "Mother, may you guide them to their final resting place."
These
And
flames
then
begin to take.
with that-
and... Sorry, Face, go on.
Faeza's gonna. That's all right. Faeza's gonna lean over to Feliana again and tell her, and thus Aramis of death, he takes the hand of Illyria in life, and that brings us full circle. But remember, it was chaos that caused it. And there we are. All 5 are together. All 7 are together.
And as she's nodding in this moment, you almost sense like the Jedi Force themes start playing as we pan slowly back to see these flames taking. And what you don't notice in any of the Star Wars movies when they're burning all the bodies is the smell. But you do in Erionwel, where there is no cinematic cutaway.
Brad, have you got Gust as a spell?
I think Brad
got
and
Gust as a cantrip.
Octavius and Six are used to this sort of smell.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
And
I
I
just
think
put up with it.
Oh, okay.
Faeza's tea that she's made is probably quite pungent. She says, "Now smell that."
A cunning device to distract a small child.
that's
As
good.
the husband and wife, you see, put their arms around each other. The wife leans in onto his shoulder, and they watch this in this solemn moment, the crackling of flames. And as you notice you do this, the sun has now set and night descends. It's actually a perfectly clear night. The temperature drops noticeably, and the stars just come out, and you start to see the heavens looking clear as day. It's almost like sprinkling glitter on a black piece of card. The constellations lighting up the sky, this perfect fire just burning down the bodies. The smell, bad, but not unbearable. We've all seen corpses at this point, and the evening is starting to draw.
Maybe we could stay here for the evening then.
Yes, of course. And the husband says, yes, you're more than welcome to. We don't have much room, but ours is probably the safest house. We could all stay there together.
Good idea. Maybe somebody on watch, just in case the cemetery is not finished birthing
It's a
its
good idea.
gifts for us.
Yeah,
It's
yes,
I can take
yes,
first watch. That's not a problem.
That's very kind of you. It's not gone unnoticed that you take first watch, Octavius. Thank you very much.
So
I don't mind watching.
you draw into their house, and which at this point, with some help, you manage to kind of reattach the door, rehang the door, and Octavius takes first watch. They roll. You're going to have to roll out your bed rolls and things in here. That it's not particularly comfy. You manage to get the horse and cart in by the logs and by the secure bit. They are not going to be in the house, but they are close enough that you can hear them.
Is there like a hitching post somewhere?
Not really.
Okay.
You get the sense that horses are an expensive luxury.
Okay.
So
Damn right they are.
That's all right. So Faeza can maybe use her woodworking tools to make little spike of some kind that we can drive into the ground and then
drive
tie
it
the
out
reins
just
around
directly outside, so you can see the horse through the doors. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
And at this
Just
point,
whoever's
you
on
say,
watch can sit on the sit in the back of the cart, can't they?
let's start the watches then. I'm assuming you'd all like to, unless there's something people would like to do before heading to sleep.
Indeed.
Yes.
I just wanted to thank you for the amazing drumming during that battle. It seems to have quite an effect on me. I feel very pumped up when it gets going.
That's no problem.
Thank you.
Should start a band, Six says as he walks past getting his bedroll ready.
Also, and he kind of drops his voice, he says, thank you for the conversation the other day. It really helped. Huh?
That's okay. I did notice you appeared to have even more arms today. Was that correct?
I can't see them. They're just in my back. So, next time, will you count them for me?
That's very exciting. I will definitely be counting the arms from now on, and I will report back. Now I have 2 experiments.
The other one is the potions, right?
It is.
Okay. That went really well last time. And he just backs away like Homer into the bush.
I wanted to grab the brothers and just say, Lack, remember when we were in Cinderbane and you asked what kind of gods would do something like this? Well, I feel like seeing you two today in this action, you with the arms and you Six, and then at this point I want to use 2 charges of divine sense to on each one of those two, and I want to sort of I imagine I'd sort of like be looking at them and they're standing there, and I want
Matrix
you two to tell me
Matrix Vision when he's like
yeah, but I want you
two
to tell me like with divine vision what would I see like as like a spirit.
So just before you do this, I'm going to ask Octavius, Faeza, and C to just take their headphones off for a second.
Okay, team.
I think you should go first, Six.
Yeah, so it's just I would say the light is sort of like it's a godly light. It's not yellow, it's not white. It doesn't fall on the spectrum of like, you know, of any particular natural light that you feel like you've seen it. It's comes from a different place. And I think that what you see is a fully armored, sort of ripped Loxodon with like a full, but it's like it's just glowing with an unnatural light. And he's got a headdress on and weapons, probably huge. It's got to be 2 axes, isn't it? I don't even have any axes, but it's got to be 2 massive axes. And it's, I think he sort of, there's a regality to it, there's a proudness to it, but there's also a sort of joviality to it, sort of cheekiness. There's a spark in there that comes from something that's maybe not even in Six at the moment. That maybe there is something in his makeup that he hasn't unlocked yet. This sort of like almost like a love of life is in there as well in the mix. You know, absolutely beautiful trunk, bejeweled trunk. My mind's just thinking of a jazzle now for some reason. It's
got a bejazzled trunk.
I've got a bejazzled trunk. And it's just, you know, that beautiful headdress and everything, and just like incredible, like sort of kingly armor.
I'm sort of seeing this like around you, like the sort of God, the only thing I can describe it is in Scott Pilgrim when they have the battle of the bands, and it's the dragons versus the big sort of
the
monster.
form grows sort of from him and mimics his every movement, but it's
almost like you're surrounded by scaffolding of like this light of like this elephant.
Yeah, and as you see this Ripper, it is like looking at it as though we've just turned the transparency down to like 70% or something. So it's there, you can just make it out, but it's not dominating like, oh my god. Oh, that's
what it is.
Normal.
Yeah. And Six goes like, I don't know what you're talking about, you know, and just like plays it off like he's
and the elephant head moves with him as he does that.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And Lack, what do I see?
In contrast, when you look at Lack, you see a human being, and just at the back you can see the faint arms that you've seen, the spectral arms, but they're like the opacity's down at 20%, 15%, and they flicker. They're not fully formed, as it were, like Six's amazing stuff. And it's like the arms are like trying to cling on to his form, like they're just growing or they're clinging on, but there's only the arms. There doesn't seem to be anything else happening.
Okay.
But those arms, which you don't see when they're manifesting, have henna tattoos all the way up. But again, like they're just sprouting, so they haven't fully formed yet.
And the thing that's kind of obscuring all these visions for you is off the spear on this point Lack's back. The spearhead is like a blinding light that is not celestial, it's something, and it's making it really hard to get a really clear look at these two.
Well, it may not be gods.
I'm going to call the others back in if that's the... Do
you guys want to...
And that's essentially why we should kill the other 3.
Oh, okay.
I knew it.
Hey, guys.
Sort out.
So, it may not be a god that dictates what you two have, but there is something beyond this world that is guiding us all, and that could be the ashes that you possess of your mother and the journey that she wants you two to go on together. But you're not alone in this journey, be it gods, be it spirits, be it some force we haven't even heard of. There is something between you two, a bond so strong. And then Ripper will go back inside.
Thank you, Ripper. He calls out as you go.
And Six just places a hand on his shoulder as a warm thank you, but it doesn't say anything. Just but that's quite important for him. That's quite a good bond for Six to make acknowledgement of the kind words.
Okay. Unless there's anything else anyone wants to do, or any other discussions before bed.
Lex a bit too tired. He gives his brother a nod. He's a bit too tired.
Then we're going to go to the first watch as everyone else beds down, and we notice the husband protectively sleeping, cradling the wife and the child in between them. They're both sleeping, you notice, quite near Ripper at this point, and Six. They're trying to position themselves near the Marshal, very clearly Marshal characters, and they are just out like a light. It's been a long day. The last thing you see is the wife kind of lovingly stroking the husband's face. He's stroking their daughter's face, and then they just out. The daughter, by contrast, has got one leg over the father, like one arm over the mother, and is sleeping with a kind of reckless abandon that only a small child can, with flagrant disrespect for all personal privacy and space.
Have you watched what happens every night in our bed? Because
I had baby brothers, man, being so much older than the other two. I remember.
The dad takes 1d4 points of testicular damage overnight.
And as they fall asleep, so too everyone else gets comfy. You're a bit more used to dangerous situations. You gradually bed down. Toots just moving around, making sure that Faeza's comfortable. Octavius stoically probably sat down or leaning against something, just staring out.
Sitting on the front steps outside, able to see.
As you're watching, can you make me a perception check, please?
Blow for good luck.
Do you have dark vision?
I do.
Seed was with you as well. Were you with Octavius for the first watch? Or?
I'm happy to take a watch. I can either join you or take one later.
It's up to you.
If Seed is on the first watch, I don't mind doing the second one.
Okay, so we'll say Octavius and Seed. So Seed, you can make your perception check.
Cool.
At disadvantage if you don't have dark vision.
A dirty 20.
Mine was a whacking 8.
So as
Curse has moved to Becki.
Seed sees very little. They are not particularly... It's been a busy day. There has been lots to think about in the last few days. And try as they might to watch, they're taken in by the beauty of the stars, the faint flickering embers of the remainder of the bonfire of corpses. I saw them live, Glastonbury, brilliant band. And they are kind of just taking a moment to just be. Feeling a little bit awkward as well. Octavius isn't someone they've interacted with a great deal one-on-one. Octavius...
He's not easy anyway.
No.
Yeah,
Octavius is not really even that bothered by Seed being there. You've had plenty of people stand next to you on watch during nights through the years in your stint in the army. And you look around...
I've been to the north.
And you see bats flying past. You hear several kind of branches breaking off in the distance, and you turn and you listen and you go, voles. And you just have that sense of knowing what's animal, and it seems to be a fairly quiet watch. Just before your watch ends though, could you make me a perception check at disadvantage, please, Octavius?
I'm not going to roll again because that was a 1. So, 8.
It's a very quiet watch.
Too quiet?
No. You'll never know. And you head to bed. You wake up Faeza next. See you remaining on watch, or...
Yeah, I think what I'll probably is, if it's all right, just before Octavius disappears, for the evening, because as you mentioned, like Seed hasn't really had much of a chance to actually talk to Octavius yet. So before they disappear inside, Seed's gonna say, Octavius, could I ask you a question?
Of course.
If it's not too personal, you mentioned that you'd spent a little bit of time in Nurmiengard, where
Yes,
I
I
come
have.
from.
That's right.
Where exactly does your magic come from? Did you learn it from somebody there?
Sure where it comes from. I was taught it by the army, but the army, as far as I'm aware, learnt it from Nurmengard, but they hold the source quite secret. It's not something they give out quite freely. It was through family ties that I was able to gain some privilege in this.
I see. So you learned from people from Chinella, rather than specifically somebody in Nurmiengard itself?
That's right. But I believe there was at least at some point someone learned from Nurmengard, because it's not a Chinellan magic.
No, it's something I recognized.
Yeah, so I assume you are from the north then.
Yes. Yes. I came into being in the north, yes.
I see.
Make an insight check there, Octavius, for me, please.
Big boy. He's got the big boy insight, though.
I have got big boy insight, but it doesn't matter these fucking rolls, does it?
Also, whether Octavius even gives a shit or not is like another matter.
Well, no,
we're all really interested in this sort of stuff. And Octavius
so I
is like,
rolled 13.
Yeah, you don't notice anything strange in that statement.
Well, I hope you get a good night's rest, Seed, and I'll see you in the morning.
Absolutely. Good night. Sleep well.
Best interaction of the episode ever.
That Faeza, it is your watch. As you wake up,
Toots
comes with you.
Yeah.
And could you make a perception check, please?
Yes.
Seed, are you going to bed or are you staying up?
I will go to bed, but on my kind of travels through, as obviously Faeza and Toots are coming out, I will specifically get down and like give Toots a little pat and just kind of, you know, like if you were passing a cat, how you have to fuss the cat, because that's the rule.
It's the rule.
It is. It's a known thing. And I feel like Seed every time there's like a passing with Toots feels that there should be some fuss made.
Does Toots roll for perception as well?
Toots can roll perception as well.
So I got 21. Toots got 16.
So again, it's the darkest portion of the night now. It's the early hours, and as you stay awake, looking at the darkened remains of the village, your night vision allows you to see in shades of grey most of the square. You're very attentive. There's nothing untoward, and it gives you time to drift, to start thinking about your journey, and you kind of absent-mindedly start patting Toots, proud of your handiwork and your new friend, and you just start thinking about where you've come from, where you're going, why you're travelling, and before you know it, your watch is up. Nothing else seems to happen. And who is taking the final watch?
Who am I waking up? Okay.
Six can take the final watch. He'll get up quite early. He'll take like a dawn watch.
Okay, so yeah, this is the kind of the arse crack of the morning up until.
Lack would have wanted to get up, but he got beaten up quite badly yesterday, so he ends up sleeping through.
Okay.
I think Faeza is going to say to Six, you know, I think we should let Lack sleep. He did dive down a well. So, but maybe you'd like to spend some time with Toots. I'm sure she wouldn't mind staying up for a bit.
Yeah, maybe I can get some combat techniques from her. That would be lovely if she could stay up. I would appreciate that very much.
I'm not sure how much she can
don't
converse.
tell the others, you know.
She is well. Just remember, Toots is a little bit of a show off. And she says this really under her breath, so Toots can't quite hear. But I'm sure she'd be happy to demonstrate a couple of bits if you'd like to.
What's Toots' perception bonus?
Her perception bonus is +4.
Okay.
Okay. So then Faeza's going to go to sleep.
Toots will remember that.
Toots will remember that. Fucking what? So at this point, Toots, as you walk out and kind of lean against the door frame, Six taking in the village, can watch of the only door. Toots kind of pushes past, and if anyone were watching, it's probably like when you visit a friend who's got a dog, but it's not your dog, and they go out to make a cup of tea, and they come back and see you talk to the dog.
Yeah, yeah,
The dog
that
isn't
happens a lot.
responding like it is to its owner. It's just kind of okay,
waiting for you to do something.
yeah.
I do enjoy talking to babies and animals as if they can fully understand me, and I find that quite amusing. So
And I think that's
wouldn't
something
be
Six
talking-
is probably going to inherit.
Yeah.
And,
It'd just be telling a story or asking for advice or complimenting in the last battle as if it's, fully understanding.
Toots is probably tooting along toot in kind of a toot. I guess I should be making noise kind of way. Can you roll me a perception check, please?
That's a 17. On perception.
Okay, it was +4 for Toots. Okay, so Toots is very distracted by your
Then your
incessant
things
talking.
came out and he whizzed around and it fell in half. It was amazing. Oh, brilliant. Did you see that bit with the
I mean,
trunk
I
and the
think
thing?
actually that Toots can understand every language that Faeza can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She can understand. Yeah.
Oh, she
She's
understands.
can't
just
converse.
politely engaging only. Is
Yeah.
the sort of,
She can't talk.
She's come out to do a job, and the guy's just talking all night, and she's distracted. But Six isn't. He's quite used to this. The Endirian armies, at least the hand he's worked with, has been slightly more relaxed in their approach. Probably because they've not fought the kind of border wars, say, that the Chinelan army has been faced with. They've been dealt with more internal things.
keeping and so on.
And
obviously.
peacekeeping. And so he manages to keep watch very effectively through the night and notices nothing amiss whatsoever. The morning rolls around, and everyone can now complete their long rest.
Lovely. Thank you. We'll roll a d4. That is a 4. That is it's chin ups today. So I think Ripper's gonna be. You said they had a balcony, right? Like a balcony bit.
I mean, is this house is this house sturdy enough to support?
Like
Chin
yeah,
ups?
Ripper's gonna get like under the balcony bit. What's it? I can't think of it.
It's
got
like
an
an arm cove, essentially. It's like a little, like a half loft.
Yeah. A
they're
mezzanine.
hanging on the
Like a
rafters.
mezzanine. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Like a mezzanine bedroom or like storage room. Yeah, it's gonna be under there. Giving it some.
7, 8, 9.
So as everyone else is waking up making tea, you all
11.
wake up.
Do they count
Six
as one or
strolling
half?
in from the end of his watch to find that the mother has already got up. Nyla has already started cooking, and you smell. There's not a great deal left after the kind of, you can see some of the chaos, but there is a few small sausages. There's like a few tiny eggs and some fried bread that's just passed around, all cooked in one pot.
I might attempt to go and support, but really what he's trying to do is find out how it's spiced. To, like what she's done to it. My mum used to call it tickling up. Has she tickled any of it up, or is it just standard, from the field vegetables?
As Six goes, he gets the very quick sense that a person whose village was just attacked by zombies, and has like seen everyone locally that they knew like ripped to shreds, probably hasn't spiced up the breakfast for the 3 Endirian visitors.
then it's
Janellans,
his-
Indians,
first
they'd be
thing
double
you do.
spice.
Double
Double
spice, because you
spice.
need it, You need it after.
You
a
know
hard
what
day.
mother used to say? Have a bad night?
Put in the spice.
Yeah.
Every time. Every time.
But then
So
this is
6
something
would
she
try and
gradually
sneak
hands
some
them
spice.
out to people
Yeah.
as like, here you go, food for everyone. See, they pass you a plate too. And Octavius, you notice the sausages in there touching your bread. And it's not a euphemism. And everyone has this lovely hearty breakfast.
I mean, are there beans, and are my sausages like dividing the beans from the bread? Because that's important.
Yes, Octavius, it strikes me as someone who would think about that sort of stuff.
There are no beans. There is just some bread that has been fried, and an egg on the other side of the bread, and sausages. Bread is in the middle.
This is the real stuff. This is the D&D you came in
D&D.
for.
This is not good because if I break this runny egg now, it's just going to go all over the bread. Disaster. Rearrange the plate.
Or as I call it, the correct way to eat an egg.
Doing the one-armed pull-ups, he signals to Lack to bring in the sausage. That's wait, hold on a minute. That sounds right.
Lack walks away from that one very quickly.
Octavius, I know you're Chinellan, and so you don't like any of this hot and spicy stuff. But maybe you could just try a little bit of this. It'll make it much better. Difference between heat and spice. Just a little flavor in there. And he tries to go over and put some in Octavius.
We dislike it. We don't really have the money to. It's very expensive to buy Chinellan. We'd love to try it if you're offering.
So he leaves them a little spice pouch, just a little bit of the spice. He'll pour into a little pouch, and he'll give everybody
They
a little bit.
instantly put way too much.
Oh, no! Classic.
That's the English, Chinellan thing to do.
And like Six puts on everyone's food. He's not taking no from an answer from anyone. If they don't like spice and heat, they're gonna by the end of this. By the end of us killing the big bad guy.
I like to think that relatively quickly, Octavius turns the kind of red that English dads do when they go out for a curry, and they always order one too hot. Just
Vindaloo,
man.
Vindaloo, I can eat this. This is not a problem.
I'll cope with a fall. No problems, mate. Have 3 a week. And the instant bit into a chili too hot. Like when the face comes forward, too red, just sweat beading.
Yeah. Well, you see the sweat beading, but no facial expression change. Just grin and bear it.
Just a slight eye twitch in the corner.
The anime veins in the head.
Whereas Faeza's from Zawati. And she's loving it.
While everyone's kind of distracted slightly by obviously the spices going around, everyone's kind of excited, invested in this. Seed, holding their plate, is going to kind of swivel to Faeza and kind of look at you with this expectant face, like. Oh
yeah. So, I promised you a pouch. Which I would have done in the full course of things, probably when I was on my watch, So Faeza's going to.
Lack jumps in, grabs the bowl from Seed, and says, "Ripper, I don't think you can handle the spice. Do you want double? You worked out hard.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Just got a carb load, especially after drifting carts like that. So sure, I'll eat it.
Absolutely, normal human carb load, very important.
I do have one question here. Are we using a bag of holding as a dustbin right now?
No. I made her because I can make many things. So I made her a little pouch. So
I thought you made a bag of holding and she's using that to brush the
Oh my god!
So cool.
That is
so cool.
£500 worth of food, rotten food in there.
Too slow, Junior. And he takes the sausage off of Ripper's plate and eats it.
Make a dex check for me there, Six.
Yeah, and also, can it be disadvantage because you said it wrong?
Is it? What is it?
It's too soon, Junior.
Oh no! Oh yeah, because he dropped the hammer on the nitrous, didn't he? Too soon.
Too soon, Junior.
I only got a 4, so I
completely.
I got a 4 anyway, so I'm hardly likely to get it.
Well, just so Seed knows what her pouch is, because I have right tool for the job, so I could have made the work tools. So it's actually waterproofed inside, so that when you turn it inside out, you can give it a proper wipe and then turn it back out and again, and it's all good. So
that's amazing. I'm sorry I interrupted that, but
so yeah, Seed is going to sidle up
going around.
Seed's going to sidle up to take the pouch from you and try and kind of be sort of surreptitious about that.
Almost like they're doing it with sleight of hand.
It would be. Yeah, I'll just do a little roll, shall I?
I think.
By the way, big question coming in from the Twitch chat. Any kale?
Not
in the breakfast
at this hour. Unfortunately, in the zombie apocalypse village, there is no kale.
I feel like you said earlier they've taken all the goods to be sold, right?
Yeah,
the goods,
including the kale.
Their primary export.
No, kale is fine. Yeah, kale is in the market, not in your belly right now.
So the roll was a cheeky 24.
It's so slight that actually no one notices it, even Octavius.
Too busy fighting over the breakfast.
Sausage. Fighting over the
It's
sausage.
designed-
Say it. Say it loud.
It's designed
Octavius
to
is
be
just
just on
swaying
the
in the
front of
corner.
your belt. Designed to be just on the front of your belt, and it looks like any other pouch you might put other things in, so you can just scrape it off the plate and just slowly
Octavius,
crack
you
on.
okay
So
there?
So
You're just
yeah,
gonna sleight
I
of
think
hand every
once
time that happens.
so yeah, once everyone's kind of had their, you know, as everyone's obviously sort of like starting to pick at the plate a little bit was obviously gone, but if there's anything left, then Seed is very proudly going to use their pouch for the first time. Do I have to roll for that?
I would say in this instant, Ripper has probably cleaned that plate.
Cool.
Leaving a little
Leave some
sad
crumbs.
expectation. There's some crumbs that you
I
could.
reckon he's the
scrape
sort of
in.
guy that would leave his egg juice, even though you know mopping that up's the best bit, but
Look,
Ripper would leave the egg juice.
I
in it.
know that England has some strange eating habits, but anyone who doesn't mop up their egg juice should just be hung as a traitor.
Yeah,
because
bring back
that's-
corporal
It's gone in
punishment.
hard. We've
Just
gone in hard at the end
yeah.
of that.
Yeah.
That's welcome.
Talk about.
Get the whole kale debate. If
Look-
you don't mop up your egg, you're dead to us.
I nearly divorced my wife when she turned around and went, "Can you make sure the yolk on my egg is always hard?" So I'm like, "Are
Oh my
you
God.
kidding? What's the point of a
Tell
fried
me
egg?"
that's
What's the
changed
point
over
of an
time.
egg?
It definitely hasn't, but I'm working
Oh
on that.
no! Oh, you're working on a divorce. you
It will
mean?
never change. My dad is 58 and still has some sunny side down.
Look, it's
Oh.
really important that we are tolerant of people with different views. No matter how
course, yes.
fucking mental
But
they
we
are.
draw
A
the
hard
line at
yolk?
that.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Lack walks up to Octavius. And says, are you burning a little? Here, why don't you have this cold cup of water? That will really help you. And he gives him a cold cup of water.
Make a deception
Sixsmith
check,
last.
Lack.
This is a
Oh my God.
classic tourist gag, and so Six is loving this.
And make an contest it.
17 plus 2. I mean, I know he's brilliant at insight, but that's not.
Make an insight, please, Octavius.
He's been rolling really badly though.
Most tense roll of the entire game for me.
Face, the face.
I'm assuming no.
That is a natural 2.
Brad, can you just roll a d4, please?
Okay. A1.
Oh.
So
that's
as you seize this glass of fairly, or rather terracotta cup, fairly cool water, and you just quaff it in one, and momentarily there's this instant relief, and then the moment it kind of passes your gullet, there is the follow-up that anyone who drinks water after eating chili knows. You fools. And you take 1 point. I'm just going to say general damage, constitution damage.
Chili damage.
Chili
Killing
damage.
damage. Yeah.
As
We've
As the
already
heat
got
just
particular
as the
damage.
heat
Because it-
boils up my sarcophagus or whatever.
Just
it's
getting
called.
it out. You're just getting it out, Octavius. This is the way. You've done it well.
Dive
Just for the
into
chat, it's
Firebird
esophagus. Your sarcophagus would be something completely different. Brad.
that we'll get to later in the campaign. As you, for a guy who carries a Firebird and has hair the colour of fire, it's weak sauce, really.
I feel like
I mean,
I
I
feel
am
like
fire
Lack
resistant.
Six-
Yeah.
I feel like Lack, Six, and Ripper are all giggling. We're absolutely giggling.
But
You
as you well
absolutely
know,
are, yeah.
as any Anglo-Indian or Indian knows, there's fire hot and chili hot. They're two different
Yeah,
things.
fire hot,
right?
chili hot.
Fire hot, chili
I
hot.
don't think he would be able to hand chili hot.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
He's-
No,
he's
he's
never-
definitely not able.
He's never experienced chili hot before. He lives in Chanella.
But will he become addicted to it now or not? That's the
So
question.
you just need
Oh
to
no,
go.
no, you've put him off forever by making him drink water.
Oh
with his chili.
no!
He
Is
is that
Octavius the
type, isn't he?
guy that thinks that having, say, hollandaise sauce is exotic?
French mustard.
Not on your curry. Surely not on your curry. God.
No, mayonnaise on everything. So with this ridiculous turn of affairs, the husband and wife, Nyla and Tillis, kind of turn to you and like, well, thank you so much for last night. And at this point, their daughter Feliana's just running around the room, and she's found a big stick from outside, and she's swinging it around, going, "Look at me, I'm a hero!" And she's kind of copying the kind of movements that she thinks Ripper would have made. She's like hanging onto a table, trying to pull herself up with one hand, but just keeps falling off. All the tables tipping over.
Her dad
7,
her up.
8, 9, 10.
As she's doing this, Seed is gonna lift their drum and give Feliana her own little battle beat to get her going in her little hero mode, battlefield style.
Rage
And-
fills her eyes.
How you've stumbled into my trap. Thank you for inspiring the BBE. And she transforms into a dragon. No, and she is inspired by this. And you see her, she's renewed and she's running around. And then she runs right up to Ripper as you guys start to pack up your things. And just tugs on your cape.
Hello, sweetheart. What's up?
When I get bigger, I'm going to be a real big hero like you are.
Of course you are, but what is it that made you a hero?
Looking after Mummy.
You need to look after your mummy and your daddy, and then you'll be the biggest hero this entire village has ever seen.
And then hit things with a stick. Whah! And she hits a table and starts running off.
Faeza's gonna sort of
Very good.
yell
She hit
over
it
her
very
shoulder.
good, you know.
Faeza's gonna yell over her shoulder. You don't need to be big to be a hero. Just saying. Carries on packing up.
I feel like I should say some kind of like hilarious joke in Gnomish to you, but I actually can't think of it.
It's all right.
We'll add that in post.
I mean, what you can do is
Right.
you can say that, and then both of you laugh, and nobody knows what the hell's happened anyway.
That's very true.
Right. Ripper, roll me a charisma check. We'll do this old school D&D.
That is a 17.
He tells a very funny joke in Gnomish.
Okay. So Faeza starts laughing. Toot starts giving a little tooty giggle, and Faeza just goes, "Ah, the frog! Oh, gosh."
And Sixsmith laughs as well, pretending that he understands.
It's very awkward. It's clear he didn't understand.
Shall we should we go check out this cemetery then? Shall we?
So as you
came in to do.
Pack up your things, you check on the horse cart who are fine outside, and you make your way down to the cemetery. And what you find there is that the graves have all been opened, and as in something has climbed out from all of them. All of the graves seem to be empty. I would say with a bit of time, you'd easily between you figure out that the footsteps all seem to lead to the village. Can someone just make me, in fact, anyone who wants to make an investigation check, see if they can find any other information?
I will.
This is an investigation check.
Yeah. I have got 22.
So as you're digging around, the thing that you find, it's almost nothing there that seems out of place. It's just a graveyard in the middle of a field that are kind of quite typical for a small hamlet that you've passed so far in Chanella. The only thing of any importance you managed to find by just hitting the DC is a single raven's feather.
I use a divine sense to see if this place has been desecrated. That's what so it says within the same radius you can sense presence of any place that has been consecrated or desecrated.
Yep, okay. So as you use your divine sense, you activate it, you get the same kind of feelings that you got before, but it's still dulled by the spear. As you turn your feeling to the cemetery itself, it's not been consecrated, it's not been desecrated. You get the feeling that this is just a cemetery.
Would we know how undead are produced in Chanella? Would we know sort of generally how they?
What I would say is that no, you've certainly heard of legends of undead rising, but this is not. Oh look, another zombie. This is like, this is fucking weird. The only reason it's probably not weirder to you all is you've definitely faced weirder stuff in the last few weeks.
So sorry, go on.
But to all, even you, Faeza, who's travelled extensively, it's the first time you've come across them. You might have heard legends of fairy tales and folk tales of things that might cause people to rise from the dead, or undead people attacking, or people coming back to life, or evil liches and things like this. But they are stories and legends. These are not things you would come across.
Okay. Is there anything that would connect to ravens in that kind of
make a religion
story
check
and
for
religious? Okay. Doobie doo. 15.
you know, I mean, you've travelled the most, you've probably heard the most stories, that ravens are associated with one of the gods as a messenger or as a spy. And you, and depending on the culture, some see that as a good omen, some see it as an ill omen. And you know that they are associated with Lurien, the god of chaos.
Okay.
Faeza, Ripper, may I ask something? You two seem connected to the gods in a way much more than maybe some of the rest of us appear. Do you think you could maybe make a prayer or an offering to the gods to maybe keep this place safe while we continue on our travels?
It
Well-
was never made. It was never consecrated, but it was never desecrated either. So whatever has done this has done it. There's no more bodies here. There's nothing else that can rise, but it is beyond my knowledge of the gods.
I would say that as a believer in omens, that the raven's feather indicates that Lurien has been present, or at least his messengers have been, and only the very unwise would pray to Lurien. He's not predictable.
You could pray to Aluria or somebody else and let them duke it out
Well,
up
we
there.
offered our prayers last night to all 7 gods, and I feel that the souls were put it as much at peace as we could.
Okay, if you feel like that makes this place
not
safe
sure.
enough, then the gods may have done this. The gods may yet do something else. Leave it to the more religious.
I think it's as I think it's as safe as anything that you put to the will of the gods can be, but that says nothing really.
Octavius, can I use your eyes?
Of course.
Footsteps leading up towards the village. Is there anything around here that leads to the cemetery?
Make a perception check, a perception or survival for this.
I will take a look for you. A 2.
I rolled it
is
myself.
so
I
ridiculous.
literally, I was like,
I did it.
I shouldn't have asked him to do it. I should just
No,
rolled it
you would have
myself.
rolled, you would have rolled higher, so 9.
Gave him a chance. He gave him a chance.
I
Okay,
think
a 9
that's-
is enough.
Okay.
A 9 is enough because it's very easy to tell that no, all the footsteps, aside from the ones that you have just brought down, seem to lead away.
I would like to spend 10 minutes casting Detect Magic and have a little walk around.
Okay. As you cast Detect Magic for 10 minutes, you sit, you meditate, and as you're meditating, your bird lands on you and you feel its presence there. An aura suffuses you, you feel your connection to the bird deepen, and suddenly, as you open your eyes, you can see, almost like when you're standing underwater, if someone really dives into the air, you can just see this energy floating around you. And as you look around, there are tendrils of black energy rising from each grave. And you feel this deep sense that this energy is corrupted and unholy, evil, wrong feeling, and it seems to be necromantic energy. It doesn't feel the same as the corruption you've encountered in Cinderbane.
Can I see it concentrating anywhere, leading anywhere?
There just seems to be a general necromantic aura around all the graves.
Would I recognise, I suppose this would be probably an Arcana check, would I recognise that this was a spell cast or
Make an Arcana
residual magic? Oh, finally. I mean, I'm not even any good at Arcana, but I rolled well. That's 17.
You sense that in the last 48 hours, a spell was cast here. You can't sense more. You sense it was definitely a necromantic spell.
Wasn't
But you
the
don't know what
Hallow
it was.
spell, was it? Just
No.
because I would have picked that up with Divine Sense.
It's not the Hallow spell.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Someone raised these corpses with magic, although I do not know exactly how long ago it was. Maybe a few days. of whether they're still in the area or not, I can't tell.
It seems like these folk are not under any more trouble, but maybe there must be a motivation for this. The person that did this...
They would have to be
must have a reason.
powerful. There are many corpses that have been raised in this graveyard. It is not something that can be done lightly.
Why this village? And why now?
That is exactly the question I was thinking about.
I mean, it could be... Yeah, it could be anything. Testing their powers was my first thought as well.
Well, the thing is, we know that all of the men have gone. This village was open to attack. Maybe there's something there that the three of them haven't told us about.
Brad, your detect magic, does it work with you, or is it just an area that you add to?
It is a 30-foot perimeter around me. So it goes where I move.
So Six would ask you just to go back to the house, say your goodbyes to the family, and see if you can detect magic around those three. It's
longer than a 10-minute walk, isn't it? It won't
No,
last
you
that
could
long.
you could easily
Just
get
to
there.
check
Oh,
if
okay,
one
sure.
of these three
Walk up
had
to the
anything
village
to
and
do.
check.
Let's just eliminate them before.
Okay,
Six
yeah,
wants to
I'll
just
do that then.
eliminate them before we-
I walk back to the
Then we'll
houses.
double check.
Is everyone else moving back with you?
Oh,
I'll go back with Octavius, but I'm curious to ask what where. I just want to double check where the village is that they all went to and how far away it is.
So as
I'll
you
ask the
head
family.
back to and you kind of start chit chatting with them, Six starts talking about where the rest of the villagers are, and you're told that they had headed towards Timbergrasp for trading. They take their product at the end of the autumn or in the middle of autumn down there and sell off anything they need to the city to bring back to the town, sorry, to bring back all the produce they'll need to survive the winter that they can't make themselves. During this, your detect magic, Octavius, detects absolutely nothing.
In the
there
village
is
itself.
Yeah, there is nothing. There is nothing
There's
here.
a slight residue where you burnt the corpses of faint necromantic magic, but that's clearly from the corpses that have been burned.
Yeah.
So back at the graveyard, I wouldn't follow those guys up. Basically, because there are some trees, aren't there, in the area around there, kind of overlooking. What I want to look for is signs of birds that might be living in the trees.
Make me a nature check, please.
That is 7.
His excited face in case Johnny gets to do a voice of a new animal.
There are. So as you're looking, these are not the kind of trees you are used to. You are used to pine trees and firs and conifers. These are kind of broad oaks and spattered amongst kind of olive trees and things. And as you're looking up into the foliage, which is starting to turn orange and fall quite heavily now, there is you can't really see a lot. There's a few birds' nests, but nothing there.
There's going to be no nature, no animals for the rest of this campaign.
Hey, that's unfair, but accurate.
I'm assuming, is that check going to carry for if I do then give up on the idea of birds and look for just any other sign of ground-based wildlife?
Make a new check.
Can I keep? Yeah,
make a new check.
Keep going until you find something. In fact, we'll all help you.
If I dig deep enough, are there
13.
worms?
Sorry, Seed, that was a
13.
13. With a 13, you do see a
Come on, mole.
What do we want? What do we want?
it's a fox.
Oh.
You see a fox, its tiny orange face just sticking out of a cub den, just watching you all.
I am going to cast Speak with Animals.
Yes.
Well, what's the range on that?
Good. That is actually a very good point.
Because you're currently about 30 feet away from the fox.
Good point. It is actually an area. So it's an area of. Well, it's an area of self, because it does say that I can comprehend and verbally communicate with the beasts for the duration. So I assume it's more that I'm casting it upon myself and then calling out to the fox.
So you cast it on yourself, and then you cast out to the fox. Can you just make a, not too hard for a bard, can you make a persuasion check as you do this?
Can I request that the fox has like some kind of sneaky accent? Hey,
now that's dangerous.
Hey, I don't know what you're doing here, man. I was just over here, like looking at the bushes.
A bit New York Italian was that?
My people are offended. The other half of my lineage.
Yeah, but that's why you can do it.
Yeah,
So
if you
it's
say
fine.
sneaky accent and then do anything afterwards, it sounds racist.
She's in trouble. You're in trouble.
Yeah, go on, Seed.
That was an 18.
Of course it fucking was. So with this 18, you see the fox about to flee, and then it's not looking happy, but it's staying there watching you.
Hello, I'm terribly sorry to bother you, but I was just wondering if I could ask you about something that happened here.
Currently, it doesn't respond, but it is staring at you. It cocks its head. It's clear it understands.
I'm very sorry to disturb your morning like this, but I wondered whether you might have noticed any other disturbances here recently, specifically in the last kind of day or so. In this, so this is a graveyard. It's something that humans use to put their dead humans in. And recently, a lot of those dead humans got back out of it. That's very much not how they're supposed to work. So we're looking for a bit of information about how that might have happened.
I know well what it is, Scentless One.
Ah, well, that's definitely going to help us out trying to figure this puzzle then. So, as you know, this is obviously not a good thing. I'm really wondering who or what might have caused all of these humans to get back up out of their graves.
Well, a few nights ago, I saw something. One of them, figure, tall, dark, wearing one of those baggy skins they wear.
Does it look a little bit like this? And Seed will kind of pull at their cloak, kind of trying to demonstrate.
So strange how you pulling your skin up and down like that.
Oh, well, you see, technically, this is a very convenient addition to my skin. So my skin is this bit, and then we humanoids, we use other materials to create extra things to sort of boost up the skin. Humanoid skin is not always terribly effective at everything it needs to do. We need a little assistance.
It sounds like you should have been born better, to have better skin like me. My fur is fine and keeps me warm all year round.
It is excellent skin. I will certainly give you that. And I'm afraid I don't really know who to give your feedback to, re the design of humans, but if I do find them, I shall certainly pass it on. But getting back to the point, the human with the removable large baggy skin, so, well, I'm saying human, I'm assuming humanoid.
It smelled wrong.
Interesting. And when you say wrong, is it something you have ever smelled before?
It is not a smell from here.
I see. So it is the first time you have smelled that smell in this area?
It is the first time I have smelled it, yes.
Okay.
And I have seen 48 moons.
Interesting. So it was just the one figure that came here?
Just the one.
And do you remember smelling a raven?
Many ravens. Some friends, some bad. Common birds in these woods.
I see. So it's normal to have ravens in the area?
Well, yes and no. Sometimes it is common. Sometimes I go months without seeing them. I have not seen one for a long time, except for the one on the figure's shoulder.
Very interesting. So the raven arrived with the figure, and then Do you remember anything about what they did?
They knelt down. They spoke words. And then the dead ones rose.
Okay. I am assuming, were there any words that you understood, or was it all
It was all
unfamiliar?
not in my language. It was
Of
quite
course.
boring to me. They had no food.
Mhm.
They were no danger. I pay little attention.
Okay. So, after the dead people came out of the ground, do you remember if the figure interacted with them in any way, or just left them?
They walked off. He was no longer there.
So you didn't see him leave?
I did not pay much attention. There was no interest. When they were not heading towards me, I went back inside. I did not see any of them again.
I see. Well, thank you very much. This has been very useful information.
Food?
I do not currently have any more food on myself. Normally there is a little more about my
And
person.
the fox just disappears into the den. This figure you haven't got food and loses all interest in the conversation.
Nice to meet you.
No reply.
Hey, I didn't see nothing. Hey, you mook, you got any food for me?
Can I make a quick suggestion about speak with animals from here on in, just to really mess Becki up? Is that whatever accent you choose to speak in as an animal, Johnny, Becki has to use to speak to the animal.
I love that, Dan, because my accents are so wildly unpredictable that it will be hilarious watching her trying to work out.
Well, that's half the battle, isn't it?
Yeah, and most of the fun.
Yeah, get ready to train in the ways of Bob, Glob, and Dob.
Oh, she has not yet met them.
Also, because Becky's wicked at the acting, so it'd be nice to see it happen.
It'd be a nice challenge. Yeah, no, I agree, and that is now new house rule.
Okay,
so,
excellent.
Well done,
Speak
Dan.
with animals goes off the table.
Sorry, Becki. I just thought it'd be brilliant to hear two
Hey, you get to exhibit your range, Becki. It's going to be great.
Every actor has range. Trying to keep up with my range, which is the
come on.
inverse of range.
That's the hard bit here,
It's
Becki.
the negative
is that,
range.
You're learning a new skill for 2021, right? You'll really expand
the
that.
anti-accent. I am the
So,
master.
Impersonating Johnny, impersonating people, got it.
Yep.
So with
Real
this,
human stuff.
your new information, you can head back to the party.
Absolutely. Yeah, I will. I am more than happy to relay that.
So, Lax waited by the graves, and while Seed's done their thing, and he kneels down and he picks up the raven feather, and he looks up. Looks the raven feather. Looks up. Looks the raven feather, and he puts it in the binding of his spear, and then he goes to stand up, and as he stands up, he drives the spear into the ground of the graveyard and pushes himself up.
As he does that, can everyone else take off their headphones? So as you push the spear into the ground, the shard just pulses slightly. The feather almost kind of shimmers, and there's almost like a soft smoke kind of floating off it. And you hear a voice, the same voice that you've heard in your head. She says, "This one was not me."
I'm glad that was the question I was going to ask.
Questions are good. I think you are done here. Keep searching.
Okay. Is there anything I can do in particular?
There is no reply.
And so he keeps the action going, pushing himself up, puts the spear on his back. Is the feather still hanging off, or is it?
The feather is, still hanging off.
Feather's in there. Then he walks back up the hill slowly. Just a couple of glances back to the...
Just one thing before we go. Lack, you don't happen to have any food on you, do you?
I do have some pocket bacon. If you want any.
Oh, I'm not sure what pocket
Spiced, of
bacon is, but
course.
it sounds great. I was just wondering, would it be possible for me to just take a very small amount of your food and give it to that fox as a thank you for their information?
Of course. Yes, he'd probably like the pocket bacon too. So here you go.
Thank you.
You might want to warn him. It might have been in the same pouch as my spices, so it might be a bit chili hot.
Oh, okay.
But he might like that too, so it's fine.
I'll let him know.
And C's just gonna take it over to the mouth of the den and just kind of like delicately lay it down on the grass and say,
I did manage to find some food. I just wanted to say thank you, but I have been warned it is what is known as chili hot. I'm not really sure how to equate that to what foxes eat specifically, but water doesn't help.
So there is no sounds, and then just a tiny paw, like a lucky cat, grabs it, drags it into the den, and you hear. Very nice.
Excellent. I will remember for future reference that foxes enjoy spicy food.
I do not know what you mean. Go away now. You sense that spice does not translate to fox speak.
Six just goes like, did you ask him which direction that figure was heading in when they left and brought the corpses up?
She said previously that they... Sorry, I interrupted.
No, sorry. So the bad news is that the fox did not see the individual leave, so we don't actually have a heading on where they went. We do, however, know that we are looking for one person. We know that they had a single raven with them, and we know that they definitely appear to be responsible directly for what happened, as they did definitely interact with the graveyard.
And they got a big spooky cloak on, yeah?
Yes. Now, obviously, that also makes identifying them a little bit tricky, but hopefully it might help us if we do spot a similar figure in future.
They have a raven on their shoulder, which should make things easier if we do see the same.
You have a bird on your shoulder, Octavius, sometimes. You think it's linked in some way? I don't know.
I would hope not.
I'm going to cut the birds on my shoulders as well. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm alright. And I go for a fist bump from anyone.
I'll give him a fist. That was
Tumbleweed blows across the fields.
And fist
solidarity fist.
So with this, you kind of sense that you found everything you can find in this village, and the husband and wife come out and we don't have much, but there's a tiny bit of bread to keep you on your journey at least. And we fed your horses.
That's very kind of you, thank you. The village that your other villagers went to, is it on the way to where we are headed? Do we know?
Just follow. Well, where are you headed?
Shade Mental.
Oh yes, quite on the way. Just follow the main road. Timbergrass was actually the main trading town on the way there. It just sits at the trade routes where the road from Glimmerwood, meets the road heading up north. So there's plenty of trade there.
Well, actually, we have enough rations to get us there, but we need to buy more rations when we were there. So I'll tell you what, if you can write us a little note that says, these 6 people saved village, please give them a discount, then we'll be able to
really
meet your traders and then get some rations off them, and it'll be that, and that's what we can get.
Maybe we'll meet the village when we get there. Some people from the village. I think that's probably a good idea.
Yeah, but they're just going to think.
Well, they're just Faeza will be there for ages, haggling over some sort of chicken.
They are most likely just going to think we wrote the note ourselves.
Exactly. So this is why we need to get it verified and signed by someone in the village.
Just talking about Feliana.
I'm really sorry.
Parents,
I don't know. None of us. We're farmers. We don't.
Yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry about it, please.
Okay. I mean, thanks again. It's a little dampener on it, I'll be honest, but it's fine. It's.
You have your lives. Don't worry. Not too much of a dampener, I hope.
No. Good luck. And they kind of lead their daughter inside, who's still going, I'm going to be a hero one day. And
well, make sure you keep hitting people with that stick, says Sixsmith.
Don't backfire.
And the road is yours, I will say, looking at the time, certainly. As you head off with the lion's share of the day, I'd say it's probably about 10 a.m. by this point. You head off on the first day's journey north. And we will find out next week what that holds in store. So thank you everyone at home for watching and joining in the chat. That's much appreciated. Good game tonight, folks. A little bit lighter hearted than we've had in recent times, but much needed, I think.
Super fun.
Much needed, yeah. Lots of fun. Much needed in the new year.
And
definitely
the first clean victory for the party.
Oh yeah, nobody went down.
That's true.
Nobody went down.
Nobody went down. No weird collateral damage this time, or innocent.
I think we were pretty close.
No exhaustion.
I mean, if that drift had gone badly, you would have run over the old man as well.
Yes.
That was
And also, if we hadn't left that one down the well as well, that's the other thing that would have happened. So
that was in my note. Well, zombie equals bad idea. So that was, well done, party. You did really well tonight. And for those people who want to like what we did or subscribe to our ideas of story,
Want them followers.
People do that.
Follow us on our journey.
I just want to say in the Twitch chat, Varric Beard has said this episode really cheered them up. So
cheered us up as well.
Tell all your friends.
Honestly, cheer us up, mate.
If you
at
want
least
people,
2 friends, just 2 cops. At
Just
least
2
2
cops.
friends.
Just 2 cops. Just add 2 cops.
Well, no, we're just 6 cops. Just 6 cops now.
We're just 6 cops now.
That is not the party name.
Also, we need a party name. So if you subscribe, if we
6
see you on
cops.
our subscriber list and we see you following us on a variety of platforms, and you give us a name, we will consider it. We will at least discuss it.
And Ryan, where can they follow
just
us?
Give us some character names.
you can find us at Blood Song Party on Twitter and Blood and Song on Facebook and on Instagram. I've said make sure you're slapping that like button and smashing subscribe. I don't know what else to. And actually also you can search for Blood and Song as a podcast. We release as a micro podcast and you can actually subscribe to that podcast every day. You get
And please
one
leave
in
a
your
review.
feed.
Spotify, iTunes, it all adds up.
If I feel like we should do something redonkadink if we get to like 100 reviews on iTunes. If we get 100 reviews on iTunes.
Definitely. Look, my 2021 wish for Blood and Song is at the very least we get to be Twitch affiliates, and that means we need, I think it's 50 followers.
We need a few
only
more.
50.
Yeah, we need 23 more followers in Twitch.
How about this? I like to throw out ridiculous ideas and put everyone else in awkward situations. If we get Twitch affiliate,
everyone will shave their heads.
cosplay. We do a cosplay episode dressed up as your character.
I'll do that.
As our character.
I mean, I just got to take my shirt
work
off.
out a little bit more before
I know. Oh, it's
Can't
alright
do
when you're
anyone
throwing
back. Hey, we
Becki
only
to
do
the
the
wolves,
neck
isn't
up,
it?
mate.
But
It's
suddenly
fine.
you got to wear an orange bloody thing.
It's not that. It's like he only wears that. No one needs that. We'll lose the followers straight
You
away.
just angle your camera up down.
No. It's well researched that people like a dad bod more than they like muscles.
That's very
Thanks,
true.
Brad.
Well, then they'll be
Thanks,
happy
Brad.
with all of us here.
Brad's got to try and find a Roman centurion outfit. So, hey,
Oh no,
let's
yeah,
get
I'm
a
just going in the attic.
affiliate
Don't worry.
during this lockdown 3.
You know what? I
Got it in his
love
sex
that.
dungeon.
I love that, Johnny.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say yes to that. I'm
We
gonna say
make
yes.
I'm on it.
affiliates.
I agree.
We'll
I
do it.
will not
Absolutely.
cosplay as every NPC in that episode because it would be ridiculous.
Just the fox or the mouse.
Outfits, like 10 outfits.
Yeah, we're gonna need to speak with animals outfit, Johnny.
I will get extra though. I will go the full mile
Like-
on the cosplay.
Nice.
I'm not saying I've been looking at like velvet Georgian jackets.
But you have been looking
You
at
need an
absolutely
excuse to get it, don't you?
Yeah.
You need
Really
to
do
say to your
need the
wife,
excuse.
hey, there's a serious reason why.
Does
that mean, like-
jacket.
Yeah,
She needs no encouragement. I genuinely saw for one of her Christmas presents, because like all people, she still loves dressing up, but we're not
need to
12
dress up,
anymore.
don't you, sometimes?
Finding excuses becomes harder, and I just saw this amazing mantle of feathers. I was like, that's cool. That's just fucking cool. And I bought it for her, and luckily she loved it. And I'm kind of tempted to steal it because I really like just a mantle of
That has
feathers.
to be.
I-
So
I would
if
wear- I
we
would-
reach our affiliate count, Johnny will
you
emblazon
throw-
himself.
Well, there
with
seems
that.
to be a Raven theme going on here, so
Yeah,
maybe
you
this
throw
is your
chaos.
BBEG cosplay outfit.
You throw
You don't know
chaos
it is.
around. You could be Lyrian. Just do
Plague
it just for
mask.
the.
Very
I
true.
wanna see you with
We
one of
don't
those
know it's
plague
Lyrian. Who said it's
masks.
Lyrian?
I don't know. Just, you could. I didn't say that. I wasn't talking about the.
Time to buy a bamboo spear as well. So I'm up for that.
And that somehow make it come back to you as well.
And fit a glowing rainbow crystal in the end of it.
Yeah. That's easy.
No pressure.
That'll be the next one. Maybe I'll get some weapons, all of our weapons made if we reach like.
How strong is this artifact becoming
100.
now? It's got a Lurian's raven feather and a crystal shard.
Does it?
200
behind the scenes nicking all the cool shit while we're doing something else. Yeah.
That's such little brother energy. It's great.
Hey.
Basically, just like and subscribe. Well,
well done, Christine, pulling it back.
And we'll do some cool shit.
But listen, and thanks for your comments and everything. It means the world to us that we have people that like what we produce. And in 2021, we're going to expand and grow and produce more for you.
Ramp it up.
You ramp it up, and we want as much feedback and as much ideas and as much of your input as possible. So get on the socials, get on the chats, and Johnny will wear a massive feather ruffle.
I'll just wear ridiculous
just one
clothes anyway.
Feather. Just one massive feather.
Just 2 cops, just 1 feather between them. With that being said, it's been a pleasure tonight, folks. It was a good game. Yeah, we hope to see you all next week for the thrilling next stage of the journey, where we see if they get to... No, it will be! I know everything I say sounds fantastic.
We camp lots and lots, I hope.
It was
4 times before we get there.
But have a lovely week, and may the Great Mother guide you in all that you do.